It's Off Exit 10, presented by Capital District Sport and Fitness.
Oh no, it's testicles. Either that or I've been doing something wrong.
Oh, you guys are gonna be sweating next to each other up here, over here.
I can already see
I'm
Coty
starting
right
to beat
now.
up.
Listen, I've been
Used to
sweating.
it.
I've been sweating all
Used
day.
to it. I sweat all
I'm here.
day, man. It's
I'm
all
here
good.
with you, Cody. Don't
It's all
worry.
good.
Like Rob Reiner over there.
Yep. And Dom DeLuise.
Listen, I was just trying to figure
Chris
out
Farley.
if I have Coty Mickle or Ron Burgundy in my ear. Chris Farley was the man.
Chris Farley was the man.
Chris Farley was the best. I talk about him at work too. We were doing Tommy Boy quotes.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
that is such
So
a great
good.
movie. I showed my roommate. We went to high school with too. So he's my age, but he ended up going to Columbia, like graduating from there.
Okay.
But he has a son, and his son like doesn't watch like a lot of like the movies that we watch. And doesn't enjoy them. But then I put on Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
I've never seen him like after a movie go, I loved that movie,
Yeah.
and he like was obsessed with it. And I was like, yes, I did something right in my
I
life.
feel like that's one everyone can agree on. That's like a classic.
Because
So
it's a
great.
funny fat guy. When you're a kid
Yeah.
and you're watching like a fat guy do stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it's like heavyweights too. Same
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
But when you're older and you're watching it, you realize how like Chris Farley had depth as an actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
He's
did.
pretty
He
good,
did
man.
hit some of those deep parts. But
Yeah,
then just
sure.
like the jokes that like fly over your head, like when he's smelling his fingers
Yeah.
after he poured gas on them.
Him and David Spade, though. They
Oh,
just
man.
they play
Such
off
a
each other
great-
so
yeah.
well.
Yeah, that was
No,
a
they're
good.
perfect.
That was
Yeah.
a good duo.
Which
right
is
there.
why they try to replicate that movie like 3 times afterwards,
Yeah.
and it didn't work.
Never
as
worked.
well,
Black
but-
Sheep, whatever.
Listen, David Spade, that was his hype. That and
Yeah.
and Joe Dirt.
Yeah.
Joe Dirt.
Joe Dirt was popular, man. That was funny.
That's probably his high points of his life.
That was like his only starring role.
I think so, right?
Well, he probably had
Roberts.
others, but
Not as like.
not that were good
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
or iconic. I don't know necessarily good. Iconic.
Well, he just had like a Netflix movie. I mean, again, all those guys are like riding on the Adam Sandler like Netflix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now they're doing podcasts because podcasts are so big now.
Yeah.
So a lot of those guys have successful podcasts. All those comedians.
I think like Jason Bateman.
I
Yeah.
love Jason
Oh, really?
Yeah, my stepdad listens to. He says it's hilarious. Like,
What's that one called?
Fuck, I forget what it's
I know
called.
it's one of like
I'll
the
look
top
it up.
3.
It's like Jason.
iTunes,
It's Jason Bateman,
Will Arnett.
Will Arnett, and
Sudeikis?
yes.
Okay, yeah,
I didn't
those
know how to
guys
say
are
his name.
those
I didn't
guys
want
are
to fuck
great.
it up.
So
thank you,
horrible
Jordan.
bosses.
Yes, I got you.
Horrible bosses.
Yes,
That's-
yeah.
Okay.
Well, not like literally only one of those guys is in Horrible Boss.
Jason Sudeikis.
No,
Yeah.
he's not in Horrible. Oh wait, no,
Isn't,
you're right. Yeah,
yeah.
he is. Oh
Isn't
my
the
God.
guy
Wow,
from-
I thought you
Don't
were
challenge me.
Here we go. Here we go. Movie trivia already.
What?
Yeah, trivia.
Well, the hard part is like they don't make movies like that anymore because
No,
you just
no.
go to streaming and you make it like a long form like series, right?
Yeah, like a 4-part
Well-
miniseries or something.
It's
Yeah.
crazy because the movies on streaming used to be so artistically driven, but now it's just become like crap, like
Yeah.
accessible, like anyone could just make it.
Hubie Halloween.
I mean,
What are you talking about? I love that, one.
of
course you did.
I thought it was great.
Mike actually liked that movie. I know he did.
Did I tell you that?
He wasn't speaking up. He wasn't speaking up over there. I was
I don't
like,
think that was supposed to be
I
mentioned.
hit a nerve with Mike.
I mean, Adam Sandler is at this point he's allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
That's why he did that. But then he makes a movie like, did you watch Hustle?
Oh, I was going to
That-
ask if
I
you
heard
I
that was
haven't
good.
seen Hustle yet.
It's fucking
saw Hustle?
really
That was
good.
good.
It's got a pretty
That
good
was
score on
It is
Metacritic.
really good. Like I watched it, and even like the basketball players that were hired to be like actors in it, like the Juancho Hernan Gomez, who plays like the main guy. He was awesome in it. Like if he doesn't make it in the NBA, like if he actually continues to take like acting classes, he might actually be able to do something. But like the movie itself, storyline was good. Adam Sandler was great in it. Like I liked it better than Uncut Gems.
Oh, I loved
I
Uncut
do like
Gems.
Uncut
That was a
Gems.
side of Sandler that like Punch Drunk
Safdie
Love
Brothers.
was a good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what you
Rain
probably
over
like.
me. Rain over me.
Rain
Jordy
over-
with the burp.
Reign Over Me, yeah, that show
That's
that
our star.
Sandler
That's
did.
our star sign.
And now here we are.
Adam Sandler.
Dude, Sandler's got it.
Sandler's one of my.
He
favorites.
does.
He's got
yeah,
it.
he's got
A
it.
lot of those comedians have like tremendous
They got
range. I
good
mean,
chops.
Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is like
You know who doesn't?
Like, the leading. Who?
You see Chris Rock and Fargo?
Yeah, that was pretty bad.
The TV show? I didn't see that.
Jordan goes, hold on, let me just.
I made it through like 6 or 7 episodes of that and then bailed.
I love that show, and I couldn't do it with him.
Dude, it was just so bad, and that show is so promising. Like the first 3 seasons were amazing.
Who's the star of the next one? They announced it.
Did they really?
They did.
I have not. Because
Is Fargo like True Detective? It's like a different season.
Anthology, yeah.
It's an
True Detective's so
anthology.
good.
Oh,
I heard the second one
Second one
bad,
sucks.
sucks.
Season
I heard it
one's
was-
the best.
First one was
Season
good,
one's
and the
great.
third one was
Third one's pretty
Third
good.
one's pretty good.
Pretty
yeah.
good. Yeah.
Paul, can you look up who's Fargo season 5?
But True Detective, the first season's like Woody
So
Harrelson
good.
and McConaughey,
Yeah.
right?
That-
Can't beat it, man.
The chemistry
Louisiana.
between those
I mean,
two is
incredible.
the best.
The character building with that.
They play off each other so well.
Dude, the Deep South setting.
And
can't
that
beat
was
it.
like the McConaughey year. I mean,
Yeah.
he had
Right.
Dallas Buyers
That's right.
Club, he
Yep.
won his Oscar, and then he had the Golden Globe nomination for
Yep.
being on True Detective.
And they do one scene in that first season that's like a no cut, like raid or like fight
Yes, they
scene.
do. That's
Yeah,
that's
dude.
no cuts. Yep, it's awesome.
It's incredible.
Right?
Yep.
Unreal.
Drug
They
raid,
track
he's
through
got
the
gun to
house and in the
guy's
backyard.
neck. Yeah, it's awesome.
It's John Hamm. That's what I was
John
thinking.
Hamm,
Oh,
Juno,
really? He's in Fargo.
Damn.
Juno
he's good.
Temple, and
He's incredible.
Jessica,
Yeah, he's awesome.
Jason
Got a big
Lee.
hog, too.
Jason
I heard
Lee?
that. You
Whoa,
can see
whoa.
it from outside the pants.
Hang on, Cody. I gotta
just happened?
say something here.
What?
Jason Lee. So recently, don't ask why, I just watched.
Mallrats?
Jennifer Jason Lee.
No. Oh, Jennifer.
Oh, Jennifer
not
Jason Lee.
Jason Lee.
She's great.
Oh,
Jennifer Jason Lee.
Yeah, no, she's awesome.
Sorry.
Never mind.
What about Jason Lee? Then?
So Jason Lee, I literally don't ask why. I for some reason watched
you say
Alvin
my
and the
name- my name is Earl?
Chipmunks. No, Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah, that's great.
Watch
Can you
that.
leave now?
You know what? I'm just gonna take off.
What
I
about
shouldn't have
Alvin and the
said that.
Chipmunks?
It is horrible.
Of course. Yeah.
No one needed you to tell us. I didn't need that report.
And that's it. Good to see you guys.
This ties back to Jason Lee, though. Okay, what happened to him?
Has he done anything good?
No, I don't know where he is. Like,
Well,
because
he was
because
part of the the Buick universe, the Mallrats,
Yeah.
Chasing Amy type.
and
shit.
he was good. I like
He's
Jason
okay.
Lee.
Yeah.
Were the movies any good though?
Well, like
Jay and
Mallrats.
Silent Bob.
Yeah,
he,
Jay
he had a
and Silent
cameo in
Bob
that,
were
right?
good.
Yeah.
Well,
I feel
Fuck
like there was
Jason Lee.
something else. All right, that's it. I'm out.
Well, yeah, I'm glad everybody knows you enjoy a good Alvin and the Chipmunks, Matty.
Maddie's favorite movie.
I think that's how we start this off tonight.
Yep.
So everybody, we have tonight. This is one of my favorite crews we've had yet. So I've talked before about growing up. I worked for my dad's painting company, and like one of my favorite parts about working there is just the conversation that you have all day and just like hanging out with good guys. Which that's kind of one of the atmospheres that I wanted to carry to the gym. So if I'm going to hire somebody, I want to be able to hang out with you all day and be able to have good conversation and enjoy myself.
it would
so
really suck if we couldn't have conversation.
it'd be brutal. It'd be no fun. So I'm just gonna shout everybody out. Just say something so that they can recognize your voice, and then we get it going. So we got Coty Mickle's here tonight.
Hello, everybody.
Not gonna top that voice. We got Matt. We got Maddie over here,
This is Maddie.
and then we got my brother Jordan who produces this thing. So he's on mic tonight.
Hi, Mikey.
Hello, Jordy.
What's up, Jordy?
So no, man, I appreciate everybody coming here. And Maddie, what's your favorite Alvin and the Chipmunks movie?
Hang on, let me think. I've only seen the first one. That's
I didn't
it.
even know there was
And
more than one.
There are, dude. They made like an absurd amount of sequels, and honestly, that might be the last thing Jason Lee was ever in. I could be wrong. I
The
could
fact
be
that you
wrong.
know that how many Alvin Chipmunk movies
I just
there are.
remember seeing trailers for them and saying, "Wow, I can't believe this is still
I
happening."
better not see
Poor
like a stash
bastard.
of DVDs at your house underneath hidden Alvin
Who
and
keeps
Chipmunks.
DVDs anymore?
You probably do.
Well, you know that's not incorrect.
I'm lying. I do. I literally have a collection of DVDs
I have a collection in a box somewhere.
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 What's crazy is how quickly all this happened. Like we're all 30 years old, and we're born. We're pumping in
VHS tapes, man.
right? And
Yep.
And it's sad. I started my DVD collecting just when streaming was getting big. So, like, I only really had, like, maybe 20 DVDs. And they were all, like, bonus features, high-end DVD,
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
And
That's when it was cool.
then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you don't need a DVD player anymore. It's like, oh, well, great.
Well, that's like, think about how fast it went from like, so we went VHS to DVDs to Blu-ray, and how fast like that all, like DVDs and Blu-ray weren't around that long before streaming happened.
Yeah, I know.
You know, like it's like you got DVD, Blu-ray, and then boom.
Makes it all obsolete.
Right.
CDs too. I was a huge CD fan. I have a huge
Oh,
CD collection.
Dude,
I still have.
Did you have the binder?
Oh yeah.
Did you?
course.
So you were driving down the road, flipping through the binder.
Yep.
All right.
I even had an old
Kids will
car.
never know now.
Yeah, I had an old car with a CD player, like a handheld Discman.
Oh God, yeah.
With a tape adapter plugged
Yep.
into
Yes,
the
Yep.
I had that
I
too.
had that.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
I had that, and then you had to find a
90s
spot
skip.
where it wouldn't bounce, so that it wouldn't skip.
Wouldn't skip.
Yep.
Yep.
I used to
I know.
I bought a sticky adhesive so it wouldn't do that.
Yep. Exactly, man.
Use my
yeah,
brain
we're
there.
we're an interesting generation. We're just like right in
We
the
saw
middle.
a couple different times.
Yeah, we're right in the middle of this technology boom.
We also all
It's
grew
all
up without
streaming
cell
media now.
phones.
That's a
insane.
thing that people don't know today, or kids have no fucking idea,
idea.
today. They're lost without that thing.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I didn't get my first cell phone till I was like 12, 13 years
Well,
old.
because you're
28.
you're young. You're I got it so I could take pictures of Alvin and the Chipmunks.
I don't want to know what's on that page.
I don't want to know. Not after our talk with Alvin and the Chipmunks.
It wasn't my choice, okay?
Well, how old were you when you got a phone, Cody? Cell phone.
Actually, I was a junior in high school, so I was
Okay.
like 16, 17.
So that, I mean, I
Flip
feel like,
phone.
yeah, that's what I had.
Yep.
I got it in like 8th grade, and it was mostly just one. I like begged and pleaded to get one from
Mm-hmm.
like my, and like I actually, so I was asking my mom for one, and she's like, "Your dad's got a family plan. Go ask him." So then I asked my dad, and I got one eventually. But a flip phone, green screen,
Yeah,
no
man.
color or anything like that. It was a
Yeah.
green screen. Like I was in like 8th grade. Kids get phones now when they're like 7.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, what?
We're also all addicted to the phones now, too.
Oh, yeah,
Even at
there's no
30.
no
it's
doubt.
become a part of our life.
It's a part of
you
our
know,
life. Like,
Which is pretty crazy, but
Yeah, it functions. It functions as a part of you. You're like going through your to-do list. And
Yeah.
It's like before I even think about calling Jordan to talk to him, because I haven't seen him in 3 weeks. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, let me check my fucking Instagram.
extension of who you are, it becomes, you know.
I mean, how many times do you go on your phone to do something like that you need to do, and then you get caught up doing something mindless? And
I
you're
have
like,
to
wait a
stop
minute, what did
doing
I have to
that.
do?
I have to stop. I find myself mindlessly scrolling, especially in the morning.
Yep.
It's almost like I wake up and then I just like grab the phone and like check text and then like scroll Instagram
But
for
who
no
doesn't?
reason.
Who doesn't take a shit and scroll?
Yeah,
Everybody,
I know.
right?
Yeah,
Matt,
I
yeah?
have to.
That's the only
a
way to
part of
shit.
it.
It's the only way you can go.
No, and like,
Yeah.
have you ever like done it without taking your phone in the
Yeah, you're just
bathroom?
sitting there like
It's awful. It really is. It's the worst experience ever. It's
Sitting
like
there
I'm
like
in
a
some
moron.
prison.
if you think you're not addicted to your phone, next time you take a shit, you're gonna put it away and just read how your body feels. It's not gonna be
Yeah.
good.
No, it's gonna be terrible.
Is that true?
I'm
No,
never
you'll be
doing
itching
that.
for something.
Right.
Yeah.
Your anxiety is gonna fly
Yeah.
through the roof. You're gonna be stressed out.
It's taking away all like the dull moments we have in life where you just sit around. But
Yeah.
some would say that's like dead time where you can just fill it with nonsense. Maybe that's not a bad
Yeah,
thing.
but it's where your mind wanders.
Yeah,
and I
I
feel
know.
like that's so
I
important
know.
too. And it's
It
like,
is.
you know, I don't know how deep we want to go down the rabbit hole, but
Let it
like,
rip.
A lot of
I
rabbit
think
holes. Just do it.
think how casually we talk about we are all addicted to it, and we just accept it.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
we just say like, yeah, we're all addicted to it.
Like, do you
it
think
takes
that?
4 hours of our day.
At least
Do you
we're
think-
aware,
okay.
I guess. Some
I
people
guess.
probably
not
aren't even
for.
aware.
I can tell you how
Dude,
many
my
mine
screen
takes.
time's like 3.5 hours a day,
Look, yeah.
and I hate it. I resent
Mine's gonna
my
go up
phone.
right
I
now
gotta
because
do it.
Mike's keeping my phone unlocked for pictures. But you
Yeah,
know,
and,
that
and
doesn't
yeah,
count.
Jordy's on here, so we got to multi this. But do you think back in the day at Apple, they knew like that this was gonna be this addicting, or
They hire psychologists to figure this out.
Hmm.
It's what they do.
Steve
Yep.
Jobs knew what he was
It's the
doing.
model. Yeah.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
It's all machine built for us to consume and spend money and be addicted to things.
Well, it's like even the integration. Like my favorite task thing at work is so I have a MacBook and I have my iPhone and I'm doing messages and emails and I'm writing copy for social media, and you could select, copy off your computer, and then just hit paste on your phone and it sends it right over.
it. Yeah.
It's
Yep.
nuts.
Well, and
airdrop, any of that stuff.
But also, like, the people, you notice you talk about something with somebody else, and then all of a sudden your phone gives you ads,
Dude.
gives you this and
Yep.
that.
yeah,
Listening in.
yep,
Yeah,
the
we
man.
That's exactly what they're doing.
We got Kellard-Ashe chiming in from the metaverse back here.
Alex Kellard-Ashe.
From the upside down. in the chair.
Somebody play it. What's your favorite song? Let's get him back right now. We're gonna play it. Isn't that how you get somebody back from the upside down? Am I wrong?
Oh, I think-
Did I miss that?
I'm not that far.
didn't make it
Don't
that
ruin
Oh,
it.
hey,
I don't even know what we're
shoot.
talking about, but it's
Stranger Things.
yeah. See,
That's the
I haven't
redhead,
watched
isn't
it. I haven't watched it.
I just started it though.
I
Don't feel bad.
I gotta watch it.
I just started this week, a couple days ago. Dude, I
But-
love it. I love it.
Time out. You know why I didn't start watching it though? Because you know what came out like, I think last weekend.
What?
Season 3 of Umbrella Academy. Had to watch that.
Okay, I
It's
didn't.
really good.
I didn't really.
know
see
you watch
that.
Umbrella Academy,
Matt, you
right?
probably watched
And I'm out.
I started season 3 and
that, right? Alvin had a cameo.
I don't know.
Didn't even know.
Oh well, Maddie, I forgot. Maddie likes Alvin and the Chipmunks.
I knew that was gonna haunt me.
Is Alvin in
That's
there?
a callback.
Never brought it up.
That's a callback.
Is Jason Lee in season 3 of Umbrella?
He's actually the star character.
Well, now that you say that,
Stranger Things is awesome. I am enjoying it.
I do need to watch
really
that.
cool, man.
I
fun.
lost interest
fun.
after season 2.
No, season 3
Okay.
I didn't think was good. I just skipped it.
Yeah.
Went
Really?
right to 4.
I do
like
like
four.
David
Well-
Harbour though.
Yeah.
That actor,
He
he's
is
really good.
He is good.
Winona Ryder's good.
Winona Ryder's great. Yeah.
Well, Maddie, you're one of the biggest movie guys that I know. So what?
So is Cody. I mean,
So is Cody.
He
We're
knows
both,
a lot more.
But you think Maddie
Oh,
does?
yeah, 100%.
But he already. The thing is, you are introducing you guys to this audience, and people have probably already discredited Matt because of the Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you a chance to regain everybody's confidence. Like, all right, so what are you watching right now? What are you into? What's good?
what am I watching right now? I don't know if I could really say anything that would redeem myself right now. I'll tell you what. I want to revisit Mindhunter because I think
so good.
that.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about it today. David Fincher has got to be like one of the best.
Yeah.
And Cody and I have talked
talked
about this
about
in
So
the past.
this
Is he
is
the one that plays the serial killer in it?
He's a director of
he's the
Zodiac,
he's like the
Mindhunter.
showrunner.
this is
yeah.
the
Executive
the
producer.
profiling show,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
With the-
Yes.
Okay.
It's good.
Yeah, it's
Very
really good. I love it.
Second season was really slow, but it's still good.
Yeah, it's awesome. Just
But like just like the breaking and the editing and the aesthetic of it, it just looks so great. And that's like part of David Fincher because I think he comes from that music video background.
Yep.
So he knows how to stylize everything. But I mean, you and I have talked about the editing. I mean, he's able to take something that's 3 hours long and make it feel like it's an hour and a
Zodiac.
half.
The movie Zodiac's incredible.
I get that is in my top 3.
Yeah,
of,
it's
like,
both of our top 3 movies.
one of the best.
Yeah.
Who's the main guy in that movie, Zodiac? Mark what? Or am I wrong? Who's the-
Ruffalo.
Right.
Yep.
Mark
Good
Ruffalo.
movie.
Jake
Good guy.
Gyllenhaal.
Jake Gyllenhaal's in it. It's an
Yeah.
ensemble, really. And Robert Downey Jr.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. What a cast! Didn't they just catch that guy? For real, or they figured out who he
Nah,
was?
that
Like
was,
he,
Yeah,
am I
there
wrong?
was something about that, wasn't there?
Was that the Golden State Killer?
They
Paul,
did. They
the
caught
Golden
him.
State.
Paul,
yeah.
look it up.
He was
just
an
so we
old
know.
shithead in
Did
a
they-
wheelchair.
The Zodiac
they-
killer?
Yeah.
They definitely didn't catch the Zodiac.
Well,
Nah.
there was something in the news though. There was that like
Back
they,
in
they might have thought
September,
who it was.
they solved one of the ciphers that he put out.
Maybe it was that.
And
there was something in the news.
They were
anyway.
able to like.
Like, there's no way this guy's still alive either.
No,
Let's be honest.
no.
So I just gave misinformation.
There's an official website.
I'll edit
It
that.
started out as misinformation.
There's
though.
an official
save me.
Zodiac killer website. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh
No,
my
don't
God,
put that
yeah.
in my browser. Please, we're at work right now.
We just got flagged.
We'll just go to the Wikipedia.
Mike's got a bunch of ciphers and codes. Safari history.
I was gonna say something before about technology. I don't even remember.
Me too. I'll remember it.
Well, there was a Chinese Zodiac killer revealed to be.
different,
He was revealed. Motherfucker. Revealed to be a school bus driver with multiple guns.
Oh, God.
Here it is. The letter that was solved. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
mo-
a year ago maybe, or like
says
It was
Yeah.
like September.
It
Oh,
says
was
like,
it?
a,
Still
month, it
working
says like a
through.
month ago.
Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't know
First
that.
of all, I'm now convinced because earlier we were referencing like something and Matt said September about last year. I was like, yeah, it was like almost a year ago. He's like, yeah, like September.
I know.
So
Was
everything's
that 6
September.
months ago?
Everything's September to Matt.
Yeah.
1 month, 2 months, 6 months doesn't matter.
September.
What happened in
Is that when
September?
is that when you
You
left?
big Earth, Wind, and Fire fan?
No, I left in December, but I don't
Was
know
it
why.
December?
Yeah, December.
Life's
Like,
never
So,
been the same.
so
second week of December.
yeah, so Maddie's also got. We're highlighting Maddie a lot early
Yeah.
on, but I love Matt.
love it.
So
We should.
We should.
We should.
Cody, you're
He's
okay.
my little brother.
Yeah. Let's, so Maddie, he worked with Cody and Jordan, and during COVID, right? So we had to shut down for like 4 months during COVID, when gyms had to, like mandatorily close in New York. So I had to figure out how to make some cash. So I went back to my roots and went to the painting company.
That's right.
And when I'm here, it's like decision making all day. It's like nonstop, what needs to be done, getting people through the door, administration work. So I was so excited from first day of painting. I got there and Cody's up on the roof, just like sweating fucking balls,
Yeah.
like scraping this
Got the
house.
sander out, scraper.
And
Oh yeah.
I'm just like, okay, Cody, tell me what to do. Like here we
Get
here
up
we
here
go.
with me. Start grinding, man, Mike.
I thought I was in shape until that day.
Yeah,
When you're
remember?
up there on a roof scraping
In the sun.
on a tin roof.
on a tin
Yeah.
roof,
Yeah.
that was a tin. Was that? No, that wasn't a tin roof.
Well,
but-
the shingles get hot. Either way, on a roof, it's hot as hell.
Yeah.
Doing that type of work.
Hot as hell.
This is my 13th year painting. I was 18 years old when I started, so I've got a lot of time logged.
You build a capacity though to it, right?
Yeah, for sure. It's just like anything, second nature. It's just like I wake up and I know what to do, and it's like, it's just so simple. I'm just going through the motions.
Yeah,
and-
well, you build systems,
Sure,
and you're
yeah.
able to
Absolutely.
to execute with those. But Maddie, you just recently left this big strenuous manual labor job for something that's more office or less that, or how's that transition been? Where you're so active all day, and now all of a sudden,
It's very like evident. it's just like you get there and it was a bit of a shock to the system because, and it's not only that, but like when you're doing labor and no matter what you're doing, if you're building something or, you know, for me specifically, it was house painting, you're looking at what you're doing and you're able to quantify what you got done. But for something like this, where you're staring at a computer all day and making phone calls, you can't really quantify that. And sometimes, you know, you go home feeling like you didn't really you go home and you reflect on what you did and you're like, what did I really do? It's just some days you feel like you got more out of the labor.
Way to bum us out, man.
Way to bring us down.
But no, I mean, there's positive things to it too. I mean, it is, you still get that close environment. I didn't think I was going to have that camaraderie going into it, but I still have an office full of people where we're all going through the same stuff every day. And there is like a huge camaraderie. We go through the same thing and everyone just, you know, feels for each other. And it's, you know, you still have the same shenanigans that you would have, you know, house painting. And it's bigger. So, you know, you have more people to go through that with. So yeah, I mean, that was like the biggest like change for me was like being able to quantify, you know, and look back at what you did versus like, okay, what did I do today? Like what was a phone call versus, you know, scraping the side of a house and then
Fucked off with Cody.
You must miss
that's what you
Cody,
did.
right?
I miss him big time.
I miss my crew.
You're the best. Yeah.
I miss Dave, Mike's dad. I miss working with Jordan. I mean, it was a great crew, especially around the time I left. I mean, yeah, it's like I said, it's a complete 180.
What happens when you have a small crew?
Yeah, Maddie was the glue.
Yes.
Maddie was
Jordan and I have talked about
Maddie
that.
was the comedy. Maddie was the,
Yeah.
he was the relief. He was the empathy.
Most
He
level-headed, I'd
was
say.
he was a lot of things that we now don't have.
Yes.
And Cody
Yep.
and I, we have good conversation.
Sure,
We joke.
sure.
We talk about games. We have a good time. But
Yep.
it's not
Something
as
missing
fun.
is a void where
It's
Maddie
not
was.
as fun.
Yeah.
Maddie was the fun. And now Maddie.
And now I'm
Maddie
going to
left.
quit and not do that.
Well, I guess I'll go fuck myself.
Well, and just like going off what Maddie's saying, it's like it's that instant gratification.
It's moving.
What's moving?
The lava lamp.
I was like, what the fuck?
Oh
I'm
my
like,
god.
Mike, do I have to? Mike's like
I like
pointing.
the
I'm like, do I have to
I
move
love
closer?
lava
It's like, look.
Mid thought, lava lamp. But like the instant gratification thing.
Yeah.
That's kind of what you're talking about.
But
Essentially, like
that's kind of where we're at as a society
Exactly.
today. That's the
That's where I
red.
was.
That's the red circle on your phone, Cody. You're like, ooh,
Sure.
somebody likes me.
Yep,
Big
that's right.
time.
I know.
That's the thing. You're
We're conditioned.
Yeah, and you're
Yeah.
drawn to something, and you want to satiate that and get that fulfilled. But like where I am right now, the success is so few and far between. Versus, you know, if Cody and I were assigned to do something during the day, even if we didn't get to where we wanted to be, we could still look at what we did and what we accomplished.
Can you tell people what you do? Like, don't go into detail.
I work for social services.
It's a tough job.
So you're working with people, and when you're working with people, that tends to be out of your control. And you know, you can't tell people what to do, and when they go off and, you know, go back to their lives, that's something that, you know, you can't really, like, you can't tell people what to do is pretty much what I'm getting at. So it's
a good job for Maddie. He's got a great heart. So he wants to help people.
But it's also a terrible job because I can see him bringing it home.
That's
Sure,
the hard
yeah.
part,
With
man.
see
painting,
that
you
too.
never bring painting home.
I'm
That
in the
is
truck
best
leaving
part
the
of
job.
painting.
I don't think about it.
You know what?
again.
I never
Just
put
don't.
that together, but that's so true because in here, I've gotten better over the years. So when I first started in this field in like 2010, let's say we had an athlete tore their ACL. It fucking ruined me because I was like, what could I have done different?
Yep.
Why did that happen? What if we changed this? And it would eat me and it would hinder my personal life and my thinking outside of work and my relationships. But you learn over the years to be able to rationalize that and put your anxiety aside and just be realistic with it. But that's tough, Maddie, especially if you're an empathetic person.
right.
and
Sure,
that
which he is.
that's the biggest like thing is like, you know, you have to leave work at work and, you know, don't take it home with you. But, you know, sometimes that's hard to do. And like you said, if you're, you know, extremely empathetic and you're thinking about it all the time. But, you know, just like at the end of the day, you know, people are going to do what they want to do. And you just got to kind of leave it at that and leave the office at the office.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, and I worked a little bit in, not for like social services in New York, but I worked for the Key program in Pittsfield, which is through DCF.
Yeah.
Like same type of thing as social services,
Yeah.
essentially. And that shit's stressful, dude. Like I worked hands-on with kids that either were neglected or were little shitheads or whatever. But
Yeah,
like
I bet.
they were shitheads because of their surroundings, not because of like anything else. They were young. But there were times like I'd go home and I'd be like, what could I have done? And like you do take it home. And like I was young at the time. I had just graduated college, so I was like 23 at the time. Like you take it home, and I'm literally there. Sometimes I was there for, 16 hours. Like I'd have like a 2-hour break, but then I'd be back there like in the middle of the day. I'd have that 2-hour break, and it's hard not to take that home, especially when you like give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't give a shit, you'll be able to go home and be like, yeah, I'm good. Here we go.
It's a rare breed that can do that,
Yeah,
though.
right.
Yeah.
And it's no surprise why there's such a high turnover rate in that field. I
Oh,
mean,
there
you
is.
get
Sure.
young,
Yeah.
fresh
Yeah.
college grads
Like,
getting
that-
into it, and you find out really quick if you're meant for it or
Right.
not.
And I
So-
mean, part of the reason why I got out of the job was not because I didn't like the job. It was because the staff that I worked with, I saw how they treated the kids, and not all of them, but a lot of them didn't treat them. They treated them like they were adult criminals. I'm like, this kid is 13 years old.
Yeah.
Like he's got a lot of life ahead of
Yeah.
him. And I knew in my position, there was nothing I was going to be able to do to change how the systems were. Nothing that I could do. Like if anything, I would be the one that gets put into a lawsuit because of X, Y, and Z. And like I was like, I can't do this. So I ended up
yeah.
leaving, and I would see kids because I ended up living in Pittsfield, which is like where I worked. I'd see kids on the street, in the mall, like at the gym. Every one of them would always come up and say hi. Always be like, dude, you were the best, like this, that, and the other thing. And it was like not instant gratification. It was years down the line, but like that feeling was awesome. And it's like I feel like back to the instant gratification thing we talked about with paint and going to this job is like kids don't understand today where not everything's going to be right away.
Yeah.
Whether it's in the weight room, in a job, in a relationship, at school, doesn't matter. They don't understand like, hey, you got to work and you got to do those small things for the big things to happen. And it's tough now with phones and technology at our fingertips.
Yeah.
It's tough. Sorry if we were just laughing in the background of Paul's
Yeah,
deep
dude,
conversation.
keep them rolled up.
No.
I didn't mean to make you self-conscious.
No, well, you did. I got a little hot. I rolled up my sleeves, and then Matt rolled up his sleeves, and then I got self-conscious, so I dropped them down.
Listen, but
Are we rolling them up? Matt, roll them up. Listen, roll my sleeves up.
I kept that
Sun's
conversation
out,
going
guns out.
and flexed at the same time.
Sorry, everybody.
It
Okay,
was just a
now
natural
that
instinct.
That's it.
Matt, your sleeve's gonna stay there.
Dude's wearing a
My
shirt that
sleeves
says
are gonna go
American
right up.
Muscle.
American Muscle.
yeah.
Mike, what is that?
It's my friend's company. I'm just
sorry.
wearing his shirt.
Sorry, my
yeah, that's all. It's just my friend's shirt. I'm just trying to support
That
my
is
friends.
the most masculine shirt
American
I've ever
Muscle
seen.
Cars.
And
We know a guy who would love that.
Yes, we do.
yeah, I
We
know.
all
Well, the
do.
thing is,
Yeah.
I'm not that guy. I'm just trying
You're
to,
repping.
I'm just
You're
trying to
repping.
rep my friends. That's
Sorry,
all.
Mike's friend. Your
It's
shirt's
okay.
ridiculous.
If I can add on to the, the type of kids that you see. So I started a job as a bouncer for a bar in Hudson called Lawrence Park, and now I see the adult versions of these children that Maddie's probably witnessing because they're in their early 20s and they're all punks and have disrespect for authority and all that. And you kind of see where the system along the way might have failed them, a few of them here and there, because they just, as you would when you're young, in your early 20s, you act out. So there needs to be more people like Maddie that can help them on the right path. So, it's just an observation. But,
Yeah.
Gracefully said.
No, that's true, and it's like Paul, we're like spoiled, or not spoiled isn't the right word, but we're just living in our own bubble, like in the gym in Clifton Park, right? It's like we just don't.
Yeah.
Like a lot of kids that we see are like coming from a good family and have good home lives. So yeah, it's like we're living in the complete opposite world from where Maddie's at right now.
for sure.
I mean,
I wouldn't say complete opposite, though. I mean, Mike, I know that you refer to this as a bubble, but imagine how many lives that you've changed. I mean, you're reaching a lot of youths here and directing them down the right path.
Yep.
For sure. I just think, and I can't speak to everybody, but just like their starting point may be a little bit different than the starting point
Sure.
of kids that you're seeing. But yeah, we're all just trying to help. We're all just trying to help people.
We're all awesome people. We're just the greatest. We're the best people. There's no one else that's better in this room right now.
Let's go back to that bubble, actually.
there's definitely not another 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 people in this room we're in now that are better than us because
No,
there's only
of
6
course
of us
not.
in here.
I mean, yeah.
But yeah, I mean that you're right on that, Maddie, where we get to help them, and like even in your job or like the job I worked in or in here, we may think somebody comes from somewhere, but we really like may not know. I mean, we get a little bit, I think, probably more personal with them because of the environment we work in than you may be able to get with like your clients and whoever you work with. Obviously, you have a lot of sure, detailed reports about everything. But we get to, dive into like how they're feeling, this, that, and the other thing with sports, family, school, and then that's where you can find out, okay, how can I really help this kid? And I don't know like what you're able to do and how hands-on you are with like what you're doing now, but I know that was one thing for me when I worked in the one program that I was in. Like some of the kids I was at, because I would see them every day, and then some kids were only there for like 3 days. So like I didn't know what I could do in those 3 days to help them. Like that doesn't give me enough time to learn about you and know your background. So, but you're right. Like the amount of people we get to help is not different than what you do. It's just a different starting point for them.
And it's great. I mean, think about how healthy it is, what you're providing, and how, it's wonderful. It's awesome.
But I think, too, it's like a real thing. Just as you go through your 20s, like you're going to go through a lot of different transitions in life between 20 and 30.
For sure.
A shit
time.
ton.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you leave high school and you're like, okay, I got this shit.
No, you don't.
And then real quick, the world's like, buddy.
You ain't got shit.
Hits you.
Right? No fucking chance. Like, Jordy, I know that's something that you dealt with, right, man? Or have been through.
Yeah, that's been the last few years of my life. We're talking about coming out of high school. I did not have that confidence. I did not think I knew what was going on because, as it turns out, I just didn't know myself. It's a little cliched, but I didn't know myself.
Who does at 18?
Right.
Yeah.
I had social
does?
groups, and in those social groups, I knew my role, and I knew how to play that role.
That's well said.
And then when I went home, I played video games.
Yep.
And I
Same, man.
disappeared into those. And
Me
those
too.
were my two roles.
So what'd you feel like your role in the social group didn't match this other?
It was more so, I just didn't know who I was when you take away everything else. Around certain friends, I knew how to be. Around my family, I knew how to be. Get me in a room alone, I'm going to turn on the video game console because I don't want to think about it, you
Yep.
know?
I
So
was the
is your
same too. We've talked about that before. Jordan and I are very
The escape.
similar.
of
Yeah, the escape. Escape
Yeah.
is big.
So, that's been my 20s. And I think it's a great way to spend your 20s. And it's difficult, and it's taken a lot of perseverance and a lot of work, but taking the time and, therapy has helped, journaling has helped. Just really understanding who you are and what you care about, and then kind of using those as your guiding stars and following those. You get a lot of contentment, you find a lot of peace through that, and that's been great for me.
Yeah.
And
sure.
I gotta say, after knowing Jordan for probably the past 2 years now,
It's crazy? Only like a year, really.
is it really only been
Wow.
like a year? It feels longer than
I know.
that.
Yeah,
'Cause
not as long as you think.
yeah, Jordan and I have spent a lot of time together talking about a lot of things, and I gotta say, Jay is probably one of the most well-adjusted individuals I've ever met.
Agreed.
Because he knows himself and he's taken the time to do that. And that's the key right there is like it is effort to get to that. Like you can be unhappy and you can be unhappy all you want, but unless you recognize it and acknowledge it and then put in the effort to change that, you're not going to be happy. So, that's something that we've talked about quite a bit.
For sure.
Yeah.
Mental health. It's a long battle, man, if you have it.
It is. And you can,
mental illness,
and
but-
acknowledging it is the first step, as like everyone said, but really implementing some sort of plan to try to like change it, which is what a lot of people don't engage in. I've talked to a lot of people where they're like, yeah, I know this is, I'm fucked up, I got issues, whatever.
Yeah, but people don't. They say that, but they don't realize why or seek the help.
Correct.
But it's not talked about often growing up. At least not in our home.
Not in our generation. I hope it's different now.
It's definitely
There's less of a
It's little
stigma
different.
now than there was 20 years ago or whatever, but still.
even if you were growing up in that household, that'll stick with you your whole life. And I guess I'm speaking specifically. Well, you too, Cody. You kind of grew up with that too. But with
Yeah.
Mike and Jay, we've had similar, family dynamic.
Yeah,
And growing
my
up
parents were
with that,
divorced when I was 5, but, we all go through.
Yeah, we all go through different shit.
Everyone
Yeah.
goes through different shit, and sometimes if it's not stressed early on in life, it's gonna carry over with you until adulthood, and
sure.
you're gonna keep putting it off.
Yep.
And I would say that Cody, you and I, we're kind of those people. We'll
Yep. It took me until my late 20s to get my shit together, and I almost got it together, and I'm 30. But turning 30 at least felt like I don't know. It really feels a lot better. I just feel. My mom told me once, she's like, just wait till you turn 30, everything's just gonna feel better, and it honestly does. I don't know if that's how time works, but it's just how I know who I am now, and know what I need to do to just kind of solve problems in life. And I didn't have those tools back when I was 21, 23, 25, 26.
Right.
So now that I've hit 30, it's feels a lot better.
Well, and when I lived in New York, I turned 30 right when the pandemic hit, literally
Yep.
2 weeks after everything shut down. But up until then, I was talking to everybody that I train, and I was living in New York City, so I was talking to all these other people, and they, similar to like what you're saying, like they're like a switch flips. Like there's like a switch that flips. And like probably I'd say January, like I turned 30 in April of 2020. January of that year, I started to like kind of feel like almost like a shift in how I was like thinking about myself and like what I really wanted to do and what my purpose was and like that kind of stuff. And since then, I feel like there's been a seismic shift, and then obviously COVID happened, but like that allowed me to take things in stride when it happened. And now I get to work with somebody I grew up with, and Mike, I've known him since I was like 7 years old. And then we talked about it with one of my best friends from, like I've known him since I was 4 or 5. Like we grew up together. He was always at my house. So like I get to live with one of my best friends. I get to work with one of my best friends growing up.
Yeah, built a
so
life. Yeah.
It's like
It's great.
you understand what's important to you. And like I could go somewhere and be making 3, 4, 5 times as much money, but I'm not gonna be happier. Like I'm so happy every time I walk in these doors. Like even if I'm like, fuck, I gotta get up this morning, and it's a struggle to get up. By the time I get up and get moving, I'm like, I don't even think about like that, because I thoroughly enjoy coming in here and like what I'm doing with my life in general.
Yeah.
And when you hit that point of like 30, it's like there is that switch, or close to 30, like even in like 29.
Yeah, for sure.
Like there's a switch that will flip, and Maddie, you'll get there obviously, and I think you're.
You'll get there once you stop listening to Alvin and the Chipmunks. Matt. That's when you'll fucking get there.
Yeah, you'll never get there if you keep doing that.
I think I'm gonna check out the sequels this weekend.
No, what you gotta check out is Hustle. That's the one you gotta watch.
I know Hustle. I gotta check.
You
out
gotta watch that.
Sandler, man.
Yeah, you feel like an adult when you turn 30 in a way. I never felt like an adult for the longest time. I spent my 20s.
You feel like an adult?
Well, I don't. You're right. I'm the worst example of an adult, but
Then I'm second.
spent a lot of my 20s just being wild and crazy and going through stupid situations, and now it feels like I finally got a level head in my shoulders. So
It's a fine way to do it, though.
Yeah, I agree with
It
that.
is.
yeah.
Well, and like what Maddie said something that made me think of this, but like something about, you said that it was like it's hard like to go through that and that self-discovery thing, but something that that reminded me of like here in the gym recently this week, somebody was saying like, oh, this is so hard, and I was like, well, yeah, we deliberately make things a little bit harder each time, because if it was easy, everybody would do it.
Diversity is so important.
And everybody would be the happiest person in the world, the most jacked person, the most athletic person if it was easy. The things that are most rewarding in life are challenging.
That's
Like,
true.
that's really the way it is. Like,
Yeah.
and it's hard to accept that. That's a challenge in itself, is accepting that like life's going to be challenging, but those challenges are going to be rewarding. That's a challenge in itself. But once you realize that, like, and that, like, for me, I've always like told kids in here or clients I had in New York, a lot of the things that I do in my everyday life are because of how I have become so regimented with my workouts. And that could be somebody else with how they do their baseball, or how they do their, if you're a gamer, how you go about that kind of stuff.
If you're a fucking runner, Maddie, you're crazy, bro.
Right.
Is the
you're-
runner over
This
here.
is
That's the thing. You guys have always said that about me, but I wouldn't even say that I'm like crazy. I'm not.
Well, you just enjoy it a lot.
I
You love
enjoy
right?
it.
First of all, you've done a half marathon.
Me too.
apparently. I will never in my life.
I
Do a half
love
marathon.
running. Yeah.
This man.
I
is
love
something
running,
else.
and it's not even that I love. It's like I like to tackle it. I like to, and really, running. I chose that by default. I'm not terribly coordinated. I was never really into traditional sports like baseball or football or even soccer. It was just never
Don't
really.
bring that shit up. Don't bring soccer in.
But like growing up, I mean, my dad never, my parents in general, just never really pushed for that stuff. I know my brother got into it when he was in high school, but for me, it was never really like a priority. It was never a big presence in our lives. So,
Me either.
But my father was big into, he was a huge triathlete. He did, Ironman like 6 times up in Lake Placid. So he was big into, swimming.
6 times?
6 times, yeah. Trying to qualify for the one in
Sweating thinking about
Hawaii.
it.
No, and it was fun. It was always such a great event, and I just remember it was just so inspiring because you would always finish with a run. You always started off with the swim. You did the 120-something mile bike, and then you did a full marathon to end with. And I just remember seeing like the big finish and everybody there cheering for you when you finished the run. So I don't know, and I got into it very late. I never did it in high school. You know, I think I was probably about maybe 19 or 20 when I started running. I was up at SUNY Albany, and I run the loop at night. That's a 3-mile loop. And
3 miles.
just
I'm
a three,
try-
yeah.
I'm trying to
tired
think.
thinking about it.
I'm trying to think what my ideal triathlon would be, because it would not be like swim, bike, and run. It would be 3 other things. You know, I don't know what it would
Deadlift,
be.
squat, and bench.
What would my triathlon be? No, I'm just trying to make things I fucking enjoy doing. It'd
Yeah,
be
I
like
don't know.
watch an hour of Netflix. It would be like
12-ounce curls.
One of them.
Remote.
Yeah. Maybe like mow my backyard. I could rip
Yeah,
that
yeah.
pretty quick,
Take
and that's
Grease out.
relaxing.
Scroll Instagram.
Yeah, no, Dad, take my dog for a loop around the neighborhood. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
I think I'd be okay at
That's a
that.
strong finisher right there.
I agree with that. I'm good with that.
Listen, Reese will have you running a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Maybe.
Reese.
That's how tired she is.
Yeah, sometimes. And she's a puggle, so she's easy.
Huggle. Love it.
Sam's here. Hi, Sam.
Well, Sam.
Hi,
Hey,
Sam.
Sam.
Sam's in the house.
I love how none of those 3 things included your wife.
Oh, shots fired.
I don't need to put you into my triathlon mix. I'm competing when I'm doing those
Watch an hour with
things.
your wife. Take the dog out with your wife.
Perfect. Thank you, Cody.
Saved it.
It was there. It was in the subtext.
Yeah. Yeah. What are you guys drinking, by the way? These are mine. So.
We got claws over. This is our first time with
Sound of
claws
happiness.
on the podcast.
Ain't no law when you're drinking claw.
Love it. Nice and light.
We got this mixture here is some Crown Apple and ginger ale. The first
That's a good
mixture,
one, man.
first mixture was the Screwball, the peanut butter whiskey, and ginger ale. Any
Is that
whi-
good? It's got to be
It's
good.
so good. Code, you
It's
got
dangerous.
Have you never had it, Code?
Let me try
Let me get you a glass. I'll get you a glass for you, okay?
It's very dangerous. Is claw like your drink of choice? Is that like
Actually, now, yeah.
yeah?
I used to drink beer a lot.
Well, Paul, have you ever ran a triathlon before?
That's good.
You need claws if you're
Okay.
going to run a triathlon.
Listen,
That and vodka, Tito's.
some
Tito's
sort of alcohol better be involved if I'm running a
That's
fucking
really good,
triathlon.
by the way.
It is very good.
It's very good.
It's dangerous.
Delicious.
Have you had it, man?
Let me get a sip of that, yeah.
it has
straight,
like
too.
a has like a thickness to
His
it.
has
It's
got
almost
his has
like
got a little
peanut butter.
ginger ale mix in there, but it's
Oh,
still
a little bit.
That's good, though.
Yeah.
I like the
Your
compliment.
you
that
think
you
your
You
dad
can
would like
smell
that?
it, peanut
Dave
butter.
would like
I know.
that?
And taste the peanut
It's
butter. Yeah.
I gotta be honest, man.
That is
I
good,
don't-
though.
I don't know what Dave's into
He
right
likes
now.
he likes cranberry and bourbon. He likes bourbon.
That's new.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought he
that's
was
He used to
another
be
thing.
rum and
Yeah,
coke.
he
Remember, he was
likes-
rum and coke growing up.
Okay,
It was
so
always Captain and Coke. That's
likes
the first
bur-
thing I ever
Yeah,
drank.
well,
me-
if you
yeah.
were coming back from some of the job sites that he had to go to, you'd be drinking rum and coke too.
I'm not judging him. I'm just saying he's
he
drinking.
likes, I know he likes cranberry juice and bourbon.
What was it?
so.
It was like my second week working with him, and we were working at a house, and they had booze, and these were like really laid back, chill clients, you know, and they gave him access to make some drinks. So he takes me back one day, and he's like, "Here, try this." And what was it? It was it was gin and ginger ale. And it was the most awful thing ever. I was like, "Oh, this is my boss. I just met this guy. He made
Drink
me a
this."
drink."
Yeah. Drink this with fire.
Big guy in Vermont. Have this martini.
Yeah, I know, right? It was a really shitty martini.
3 bad drinks in a row.
I think listen, when I was 20, I was never a big drinker, and I am not really, but like it was the worst thing ever. But like I maybe
Gin's rough, man.
forced down 3 sips. I was like, ah.
Cody, have you had a scenario
Thanks.
like that with a client?
That a
so,
what?
so when I was painting with Dave, I was in early college, or maybe I was probably late high school, and we were painting for a woman, and she asked me if I wanted lunch, and I'm like, a little scared high school kid talking to some client, and I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, yes, please. So all of a sudden she's like, lunch is ready, and I'm like, oh, fucking, let's go.
Yeah.
So I stand at the table, and it's a big bowl of like tuna fish, and I hate
Napoleon
tuna fish.
Dynamite. You remember the lunch he had at the farm?
Was it tuna fish?
No, it was like hard-boiled
Yes,
eggs.
yeah.
But I sat there and slugged down like a
Was there
bowl
mayo
of
in it,
tuna
at least?
fish. Cody, I don't remember. I just knew I hated tuna fish.
This is great. I don't like crossing that line with clients. Just with the, I always say no thanks.
Yeah.
'Cause we get offers once in a while. Hey, you want a beer? You want something to eat? I'm like, nah, I'm good.
We had a job last summer. They said they came out and said, "Hey, they're 420 friendly, by the way. You can smoke here."
Yeah, that's right.
You're like-
That was a new
Yeah.
one.
That's a new one.
Like, okay.
Jordan's like, all right, let's do it.
Hang on, Cody. You got to admit, when someone's coming out with a plate of cookies, we're usually down in those pretty fast.
Yeah,
Cookies are different though.
It's a little different.
Coo-
If you come
cookies
out
are
with a plate
different.
and you're like, here, I have to, you got to eat.
Like, but if they go, hey, do you want me to make you some
Yeah,
lunch?
that's
Like,
a little-
no, that's a little much. But if they come out with a plate of cookies, yeah, I'm going to eat them. Like,
PB&J with a crust.
you just
cut
got to
off,
be
please.
careful that they're not 420 friendly.
Yeah, you end
what
up on a
those were in
scaffolding
the-
an hour later.
And then you've had 4 of those, and next thing you know, you're flying.
Next thing you know, you're jumping off the roof. And you're like, why am I doing this?
Like, do you want to grab that paintbrush on the ground? Sure, I'll jump down and grab it.
I can fly.
I guess another thing to bring up is like, how much sketchy stuff did we do? Just like
Dude,
being
I've done it
so
for so long.
high up off the ground.
Doing it today. Me and Mark. Just scaffolding 5 high.
Oh,
5 sections
Cody
high.
pressure washing 35 feet
Yes,
up on that pick last year.
that's
was the
the
worst
image
thing
I
ever.
had in my head
It's
when
the
I
worst
just said
thing
that.
ever. Dude,
Oh,
it makes my
Georgetown?
stomach drop.
Yes.
Yeah, that was terrible.
Like, I'll
Georgetown
hear
job.
climb up on the ladder to fix something, and Dan's like, "Oh my god, I'll come hold it." I'm like, "Bro, you have no fucking idea."
Paint for a week and it goes away.
It goes
I'm so
away
used to it now.
fast.
It's just
I
really does.
probably would have shit my pants multiple times. I'm afraid of heights, so
Dude,
like,
ask Matt. I was paralyzed at first. I would sit. Matt was very patient with me, but I would just sit there and be like, "Matt, I can't do it."
Yep.
And he'd be like, "Okay, well, when you're ready,
Yep.
come on
That's
out."
so kind, Matt. I expect nothing less.
going back to Matt being empathetic and why he's in the job he's in.
he's a star of the show.
Just to have a high tolerance for bullshit. That's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, heights can be freaky, man.
I fucking hate him.
It's second nature when you do this job. Done it for so long, so used to it. That's
Like
all.
if I was up on that and you were, like, how high was he when he was power washing?
35
30.
feet.
And I turned around and looked
30,
down. I
30,
would-
35 feet
It was-
on a
that was a
pick that
pain.
was wobbly.
Yeah, on the pressure washer, jolts you back a little
2
bit,
feet
so-
wide, maybe.
Right.
The pick was
Yeah.
skinny pick. Wish it
Skinny
was
pick,
wider.
and that's the dented one too. That's the one that we ran.
And,
Yeah,
you know, I know
that's
this
when
is an
Dave ran
audio.
over.
This is an audio medium, but
Yeah.
Code's not a little guy.
I'm not a little guy, guys.
Yeah.
No.
I'm a bigger guy. So,
But I will say
on a skinny
big,
pick.
but nimble. Extremely nimble.
Dave's always said that too.
Like,
Do you see yourself as nimble or no?
No,
Everybody else does.
everybody else does. Dave says he's like. Dave would be like.
Alex.
He is the. He is the
You
most.
think
nimble
Cody's
big
nimble?
guy."
Well, he wants to be.
There you go.
There's
There
a
you go.
Jolie ladder back there if you want to know. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
All right.
But Jay, you live on both extremes then. You live on, being nimble 35 feet up with Cody, but then you're a writer on the other side of things, right? So you're getting...
Yeah, and I love that balance. I get into these like career crises where I don't know what to do with myself. I feel like I'm not doing enough. I'm not making enough. But if I slow down and just live day to day, and I've got my balance of manual labor in the sun, 35 feet up with
Sure.
Cody fucking around. We're talking. I'm working hard. I'm getting sun. And then I go home and I get to sit in the computer and type about video games and make good money doing that. That balance is great. And I
That's
love
right.
that balance.
I would like to introduce more of that, some sort of that, because for me, like painting is just what I do to make money.
Right.
And
But
I
you're a creative guy. Like, you didn't...
Sort of. I could. I don't know. I would like to delve into music, something in music. I'm not sure what, but just have like another, like I don't know, maybe some sort of money, possible business thing with music. I don't know. It's just like, because I can paint forever and it's great, and I've done it for so long, and I can make good money doing it. But I'm not 100% fulfilled. I'll say that.
Yeah,
There's a little something that I'm
being
missing.
being intellectually fulfilled is super
Huge.
super
It's-
important.
For sure. Yeah.
And it's like first you got to learn what does that for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, playing guitar is big for me. I play guitar for 20 years since I was 10 years old. So it's like, I wonder how I can integrate that.
Do
into
you
some
read
sort of-
Do you read music? Or you can just listen to shit and go.
I can't read music, so I can read tablature.
So
which
how
is
how did you
different.
learn?
My uncle bought me my first guitar when I was 10, and I started going to guitar lessons, Main Street Chatham, and then every Wednesday for a long time. And then I just kind of learned to read tablature, which is very similar.
What's tablature?
It's just, you got music, which is notes, and you got tablature, which is just numbers. So the number corresponds to the fret on the guitar, and if you do that long enough, it's just, again, second nature. So,
I thought you were like Drumline, where you just...
I can drum too, and
but
play bass.
Have you seen the movie Drumline?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know how you can't read music. Like,
Yeah, right.
That's how I just assumed that was you. Like, you
Well,
just
no,
go-
I can listen to stuff and know what it is, for sure.
That's
like,
dope.
know the riff, yeah.
That's dope.
Yeah,
That's
for
impressive
sure.
to me because
That's
I
really
like
impressive.
I love art and I love music,
So
but I'm
do I.
so not artistic and
Not
so
it's-
not musical.
It's a different language, and if you don't learn it as a kid,
I gotta tell you, if you don't
know.
do it when you're young,
Yeah.
it's so tough to do it.
It's like learning another language.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
we
it
all
is.
wasted our fucking time for like 6 years in
Yeah.
Spanish class, just
I know.
starting when you're
Oh
like
my
14
God,
years
yeah.
old, right?
Yeah. I know.
Spanish is valuable. I'm happy
Yeah,
I know
but
Spanish.
French
But
is
can-
invaluable.
can
French
you-
class, invaluable.
Italian,
Dumb as
But I'm
Yeah.
saying, can you step in and speak it now and understand?
Reading and writing's pretty good. Speaking.
Oh wow,
difficult.
then never
I'm
mind.
pretty good at Spanish. I
If
gotta say.
I'm talking to
I
the
took
wrong
it through.
crowd
I
right
took
now.
it through college. So
If I had taken
Don't take it out on us
I'd
because
be-
you
Now
failed
I'm just
Spanish.
sharing my learning disabilities with everybody else. Then,
But I mean, I feel you with the art and music thing. Like, how much do we talk about music in here every single day? Like, I love music, I love art, but again, I am not artistic. And like Jordan said, like it comes from like a young age. And I experienced art as a young age because my brother-in-law, who does all my tattoos, which is part of the reason why I have so many. But also, like, I've always loved tattoos. But
he worked for Dave too back in the
he
day.
did work for Dave. Shout out Jesse.
Yeah.
Worked for Dave as well. You know, he was not doing art painting for Dave, but he was painting for Dave. But just seeing his artwork growing up, I was always like amazed by it. And then when he became a tattoo artist, I was like, no brainer. Like, this is easy. Like, I already had a bunch of tattoos, and now obviously here we are.
Yeah.
But it's a really cool thing to be into, and like you'll find something that, you know, will be there. And if you do have a, not for nothing, like a pretty good example when it comes to, maybe Dave's not, I would assume he's pretty passionate about his painting business. He's been doing it
He is,
forever.
Yeah.
But think about where he started. He was a state trooper first.
Yep.
And then he found something else to make money off of, and now he's been doing it for fucking ever.
25 years. Something
You know?
like that. Yeah,
And
for
he's
sure.
still doing it.
That's
So
crazy to think about.
You got a good example right in front of you that,
Yeah,
you know, you
absolutely.
can use.
Side
It's crazy.
hustle.
It's crazy to think about your childhood. Like we all come from different places. Like you said, your parents divorced when you were 5.
Mine
It's
were-
like us.
I
It's
don't know mine together.
Yeah, right. Paul doesn't even know his together. But it's fucking crazy to think Dave worked fucking full-time trooper job and a fucking painting business.
He's the
I was gonna
hardest
ask
working guy.
Jordan.
No, he's the hardest working guy.
He is.
No.
Yeah,
Hands down.
and dude, I mean, it came through in the way that he fathered us. That
Sure,
work
I bet.
ethic. It was all about work ethic, and
But-
I don't fault him. That's what he needed. That dude was on his
So-
own when he was 18.
But right, that's crazy to think. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to
He
speak
had
and tell
to.
the wrong story, but he had to. But I latched right onto that. Like, if you
I
know me,
Yeah, this
right?
this is where we differ.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
where we really do differ, and we're similar in a lot of ways in terms of our empathy but it's where we differ because that's what I latched onto. Like I'm like that's what I was around my whole life growing up. So I'm like, well, this is what I do.
Sure.
So I'll run my face through a wall until I accomplish the task.
He will
Yep.
do that. I see it.
But Jordy, you didn't.
I didn't. I rejected it.
You rejected
I fought against it. I fought against him, and I fought against you.
Yep.
All the way through my childhood, all the way through teenhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I can see why.
Right.
Dude, I don't
Me
know.
too.
I'm different than you two, and that's fine.
Yep.
You know.
It's cool seeing both of you that have similarities
Well,
and differences.
Yeah,
at
I
the
feel
same
like
time.
we've come together now since I've moved
Yeah.
back from Boston. Obviously, this is our big project together, which is my favorite, my one of my favorite things
I
that
love doing
that
this,
I'm
yeah.
that I'm involved in.
This is awesome.
How much did so you talked about like your self discovery journey or like you're getting the therapy in your mid 20s. Did you realize how much you rejected that and that impacted you, or did it take until you went and you started doing that stuff to put pieces together? And
Yeah, it took the therapy. What I had before therapy was just anger. I just had anger. I don't want to get too deep into it. I love our dad. He has come such a long way. We have such a good relationship now, but we just clashed. We just clashed for well over a decade. It feels like, and I was angry. And you as a boy, your role model of a man, what you want to be, is your dad. And here's your dad saying like you're not what you're supposed to be, and you feel like shit like all the time.
yeah,
Yeah, so I was just angry, but then you reflect on it and you have empathy. You see where he came from. You see why he tried to instill that in you. This is how I survived. Maybe this is how you have to survive. So I'm going to teach you these skills, and I get it and I respect it now as an adult. But as a kid, you just don't have that wisdom. You don't
No.
know.
Honestly,
How can you?
Dave's on it. To be honest, he's become like a father figure to me as well. And I don't have the best relationship with my dad, so Dave just kind of filled that role in a little bit. He might not know that, but it's
He knows now.
He knows now. Alive. But he's done a lot to help me out, and just he's been great, and I love working for him. And I could sense a shift in him too. He's just the stress. He's dealing with stress so much better.
Yeah.
And he's just a different guy than when I started 3-4 years ago.
well, I don't know if it's coincidental, but like if Jordy's rubbed off on him, but he's done a lot of work in the past few years, right, Maddie?
Yeah, Dave's changed
Yeah.
quite a bit. And I mean, just to kind of go off Coty, I mean, Dave and my own father, who is very present in my life and who I love very much, they're one and the same. Just the strong work ethic, Italian man, just that same demeanor very straight-laced. I mean, and I think it's one of the reasons why I stuck around so long, because it's a personality that I'm used to, and it's a work ethic that I can match. And I mean, I worked very well with Dave, and I do love him. He's a great man, you know, and it's one of the reasons why I'm going to be working for him tomorrow, Saturday.
Are you and Cody reunited tomorrow or no?
Reunited.
Cody and I are reunited.
I wasn't going to work. I was like, this bastard picked a 90-degree day, hot and humid. I was going to go out with these guys and, you know,
that
drink.
crazy.
And like,
Play reunited and it feels
man.
so good.
Yeah, it
I'm
feels
still
so good.
going out tonight. So.
I know. Younger,
But
do it.
yeah, no, I mean, it's that type of thing that I felt like I could match. And it's one of the reasons why, you know, when I started with Dave when I was 20 years old, there was a group of us that started. And, you know, after so many years, I was the only one that stayed on as long as I did, because no one could really keep up with that and the expectation and that willingness to please, because it's a personality that I just grew up with and that I'm used
See,
to.
I struggle with that in here. I've talked about this. I've gotten better as a boss, but before I did some reflecting on this, when I opened here, I expected everybody else, and Dave probably used to move a million miles a fucking hour like me. And I would be very dissatisfied if somebody moved, 2 miles an hour slower than me. But you realize that's just like, that's not a realistic thing.
Mike, that comes out in me even when I'm just walking. If I'm walking behind someone who's slow and I pass them, and I'm conscientious of it. Like I'm like, man, I really do feel like a jerk passing someone right now. But it's just who I am. It's like I have to move at this pace, and I have this expectation of myself to move fast, and I think that's why it works. Like, growing up with my dad was one thing, but then working for Dave for 5 years reinforced that idea. Because that's just how I exactly.
Jordan and I are more similar, a little bit more laconic and laid back.
Yeah.
And I just always moved at my own pace. I can get work done, do great work, and I just move at my own pace. Maybe it's slow, maybe it's not. I don't know, but I feel like Jordan's the same way. And
You
I'm
are.
nimble.
You are nimble.
Shout out being nimble, man.
Biggest 255-pound nimble guy.
It's only good to be nimble, right?
Well,
That is the best adjective for Cody.
I feel like there's
The
probably
nimble
better
guy.
ones, but
Hold on.
Hold on, we got
some technical difficulties.
Yeah, I just yanked on something.
Something yanked
that
here.
could have been.
There we go.
We good.
We're back.
We're
We're back live?
We're back, everybody.
Okay, I don't know how it's going to reach the people.
I'm not that nimble.
Do it live. Wait, who is that? Who says
Bill
that?
O'Reilly.
Bill O'Reilly.
Do you know what he goes? And here's a cut off of Sting's latest album. Pull it up.
Fucking thing sucks.
What am I pulling up?
Just
Bill
search.
O'Reilly freak out.
Yeah, it's
it.
all over the place.
How good was Kendrick's new album, by the way? Shout out to Kendrick.
Can I
Lamar.
tell you
Can
that?
I tell you?
Mike, you're
Don't
talking
talk-
to the
don't
wrong
talk-
guy.
don't
talk to
Talk
me
to
and
me
Mike.
about it.
So,
So good.
no, this is
You don't like Kendrick?
I haven't given it the chance,
Mike
Cody.
likes Drake.
Drake's album. We're not
Honestly,
talking about
Nevermind
Drake.
is terrible.
No,
Fuck
yes,
him.
That album's terrible.
The new
Fuck
one's
him
terrible.
after that album.
terrible.
I agree. And
J.
Kendrick
Cole, all the
now.
way.
So I listened to Silent Hill. Is that a song on the
Yeah, it's a
album?
great
Yes.
song.
And I love Silent Hill.
And 95's
So-
And 95 I
I-
like.
so good.
And I just listened to Silent Hill for the first time today, for real. I need to
Yep.
get into it. So
I mean, To Pimp a Butterfly is probably the best. That's so good. But
See, I'm not
this
a big.
is really good.
I'm not a big fan
I-
of Pimp a Butterfly.
What about
no.
No,
Good
it's a
Kid?
concept album.
Good
man.
Kid,
It's so
Ma-
good. You
Good
know?
Kid.
but
I like
Good
Good
Kid,
Kid.
Mad
Good
City,
Kid, Mad City.
is also a concept album.
You like To Pimp a Butterfly?
Me and Kendrick have like a love-hate relationship. Some tracks I'm like, I love it. Some tracks I'm like,
Don't
What
ask
do you think
out.
about the new
But
one?
not
to-
so good.
Yeah.
To me, Good Kid, Mad City, it plays
good.
like a Tarantino movie where it flashes forward and
Yeah.
it goes back
That's
and it
why
comes forward
I
and
love
it goes
Good
back
Kid, Mad
and it
City.
tells a
Don't kill
story
my
the whole
vibe.
time. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my favorite.
So
Like
good.
even
It's
just
great.
like
Even
Mad
certain
City's my
movies
favorite.
can-
Like
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
that shit gets me going.
Yeah.
But I have listened to Kendrick's album more and more. Like it'll just come up sometimes, and I'll listen to it more. And like the first time I listened to it, I was like, "Fuck this."
Yeah.
But then like it is very deep. I
Dude,
don't like the Kodak.
why I like it.
I don't like the Kodak Black features though. I think that's very kind of hypocritical with what he's talking about on the album. But
Okay.
besides
Interesting
that,
take. Like
that's
that.
besides that, I did
Dude,
think
but
the album was pretty good.
That album will be good in 5 years. It'll be good in 10 years. It'll be
You know
good
what
in
won't
15
be?
years. It'll
You-
be good in 20
Honestly,
years.
never mind.
Honestly, never mind.
We can all agree that album sucks.
I told Paul that I thought it was a joke. That the next day he'd just be like, "This is my 7th album. Honestly, never mind. Like, here's the real
That
one
would've been-
after
that
this."
would've
He was
been-
supposed to heart, and then he put his whole heart on it.
That would have been the most.
Just stop.
Scorpion was better than that.
That would have been the
Yeah.
best PR move ever to go, honestly, never mind, here's my actual 7th album.
Yeah.
Like, if he had
Right.
done that, dude, and it was a banger, like,
Terrible.
it would have been awesome. Instead, he goes, this is all I'm going to release, and you guys just don't get it. You don't get it. You don't get it. And then people want to get mad that that we're bashing Drake for it, and Beyonce releases like a housey song. I'm like, Beyonce's a fucking pop singer.
Yeah, I know.
She's supposed to do that.
We're all wrong, though. Matt, what drop are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for, Matt?
Alvin and the Chipmunks Part 3, baby.
The soundtrack to Alvin and the Chipmunks, please.
69.
I've been waiting. I wish my musical taste could be like matching your.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
Cody and I
But
definitely
What do
bonded.
you like though? Like, what do you like?
Old stuff. I mean,
60s.
yeah. I
Okay.
mean, I'm into really old stuff. I mean, well, not just 60s, but
No,
like
I'm
classic
just
rock. I mean, Cody introduced me to. I remember there was one day, and it was
You got a broad range, right, Cody?
Cody's
Big
very
time,
yeah.
big time. Love it all.
Cody's
Yeah,
across the
me too.
board. There was one day we were working, and I was just so against the Beatles, and I was like, I don't think there's a song I could really like. And then Cody had me listen to Sgt. Pepper's. Wasn't it Sgt. Pepper, or was it Revolver?
I think a Revolver.
It
actually.
was Revolver. We listened pretty much,
Yep.
like through and through. And I was like, all right. And then, like after that, I mean, there were so many days where it was just like
Yeah,
listening
Beatles
to
days.
Beatles. It was just Beatles
There's
days.
a reason why people say they're the best band of all time. You know, it's just stuff you got to listen to at least once.
How do
Yeah.
you like the Beatles days compared to the Hootie days?
I love Hootie.
The Hootie days. Oh my gosh. Well, what Jordan just
Hootie day
referenced
today,
was,
by the way.
Oh, was it a Hootie
Yeah,
day
it was
today?
a Hootie day
There's
today.
a certain coworker that we have that
Yeah.
made us listen to an entire album of Hootie and the Blowfish, and literally,
I love Hootie
it
and the
was.
Blowfish.
I
it
mean,
was-
Darius is the man.
Yeah.
It was like 2
What I
hours of
wanna be
Hootie.
with you.
Great song.
Love it.
Did you hear Post Malone's remake of it?
Yeah, I did.
Post
Pretty
Malone
good.
did a
It's
remake
okay.
of that.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It was
Do
okay.
you
Who'd
like
do a
Post
remake
Malone
of-
code or no?
I actually do, but I didn't like the 12 karat toothache. Thought that sucked. But I like circles and.
See, I'm not a big fan of Hollywood Bleeding. I like the 12 karat toothache
Okay.
better than
All
Hollywood
right.
Bleeding.
Yeah, it's
I think
definitely slower, right?
I think
It's a little
Hollywood
more laid
Bleeding,
back.
he wasn't as artistic on. Like, it was more like, I'm just making this album to make an album.
I think Beer Bongs and Bentley's better.
Beer Bongs and
Yeah.
Bentley's the best.
I think
Sure.
that's better than both of them.
I like
that's
Sony
what
too.
got me onto Post.
Yeah,
Like,
Rockstar.
I refused to listen to Post Malone because of one song, White Iverson. Refused.
Yeah, I liked that when that first came out.
I hated it when
I
it
did.
came out.
Yeah.
Didn't like it.
Paul.
What? Why? Because I didn't like White Iverson. What do you want?
Sussin', I'm
There's
sussin'.
one. There's
A white person was rapping about it?
There's no, because there's one Iverson.
Was it the cornrows?
It might have been the cornrows.
When Iverson?
True.
No, white boys rapping about it, you know.
Nope. I don't fuck with it. I don't fuck with it. But I hated that song, and then Beer Bongs and Bentleys came out when I was in New York, and my friends that I lived with were big. Post
Jordan, you're a
Malone
big
fans.
no?
No, dude. He's just like a human rock star energy drink. I can't.
I mean, that's what he looks
That's a
like.
great way to
That
put
is
it.
that is a
That's
great way. That's what he looks like.
One of my favorite memes I've seen is this guy sitting in the doctor's office, and the doctor, like the top, asks, "Are you sexually active?" And the guy responds, "Like I drink, Monster energy drinks." The doctor's like, "A simple no would suffice."
yeah, that's so funny. But I will say, watch Post Malone on YouTube doing the Nirvana covers. It's awesome. He plays guitar, he sings.
Yeah, I'll just listen to
Definitely.
Nirvana.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Hey, you know what? You got a point. Fuck Post Malone.
How'd you get into playing guitar, Cody?
My uncle played, and then he still plays, and he just bought me a guitar when I was 10. I didn't ask for it. It was there on Christmas, or was it Christmas? Yeah, I think it was Christmas Day, and I just played it ever since, and then just like really kind of fell into it. Love it. I've always, but I've been a music guy for my whole life.
I feel like I remember like you always being into
Always
music,
music,
like
man.
when we were in high school. Like
Yeah.
always remember you being into music.
But as a 5, 6-year-old, I just had CDs and headphones. That was my escape as a kid, with all the BS going around growing
Absolutely.
up. That was my escape, and to this day, it still is in a way. So,
Yeah, it's
Love
good. It's good to have that. What made you? We talked about Jordy, and you said you'd like kind of clicked in your mid-20s, your late 20s, just like
Sure.
learning yourself. Does something trigger that, or it's just been a kind of collection of things?
I can't like say it's a certain event, but I went through some things that just kind of led to, honestly, honestly it is. It's just time. It just took time. How I deal with things now at 31, just turned 31 last Friday, is
Happy belated.
thank you. Is
Cheers.
how I
Fuck you, Cody.
yeah. That's fair enough.
Fair enough. That's the only way I would expect a friend to respond.
Again, just how I deal with things is so different. From 31 to 21, it's night and day. So just like we touched on that before, so much more relaxed, calm as a person. Know what I want out of life. Know who I am, what I am, And no, it wasn't a specific event. It was just year after year, I got a little smarter. I'm still getting a little smarter. And
Are you?
Well, there's some. Trust me, I still make dumb decisions.
Code's a rock. Code's one of my favorite people. He is
Yeah.
steady.
Same with Jordan. To me,
He is steady.
both of these
I
two
mean,
men.
you know when somebody knows themselves when day in and day out they show up, and
Yeah.
there's no variation. That's my guy. That's
Yep.
him. That's Cody.
Well, and you
Yeah.
talk about the change from 31 to 21. I mean, just take it back another 10 years. 11
Yeah.
to 21.
Yeah,
You know, like
for sure.
Right.
10 years is a long time.
Yeah.
A lot of shit changes in that time frame.
Yep.
And, you know, when you graduate high school, to go back to like what we talked about earlier a little bit, like not knowing what you want to do or be at 18 years old, I try to stress that to kids in here all the time. It's fucking K. It's okay
Yeah.
to not know what you want. I changed my
I didn't know.
I changed my major 2.5 years into college. I had a friend change his major twice in the first 3 years.
Yeah.
Like, you may not know what you want to do when
Yeah.
you go to college or when you're 18.
There's
Perfectly
no set,
fine.
Yeah, there's no set timer where you
No.
have to be like.
No.
And I think that's unfortunate that they push college on high school students because
yeah.
it's not always
Dude.
the way to go. I mean, it's just.
Go.
And they push it on them without educating them about
Yeah,
you know
right.
how to
And
make
you
a
have to go
decision.
to community college. That's, You
Right.
just have to go. I'm
There-
like, well, no, I want to work, and I
Right.
did.
There
Just-
should be some class structure where you actually can learn about what you may want to do.
Sure, what
And-
self-exploration.
Yeah, you're,
Yeah.
you're a
Why
kid
not?
at 18.
and then learn about money.
yeah, exactly.
Right?
I wish I knew
Yeah.
that. There
Yeah.
should be finance classes.
Right.
You know,
I mean, we had
For real, right,
Vanderbilt,
still
guys?
get
like,
screwed
you know.
because of that. Because
I don't think I ever had like a guidance counselor like push trade school or anything like that. It was always
No, never.
college and like I can't even imagine what that was like for someone who wasn't into pursuing, you know, whatever college could offer.
Yeah, well,
Like,
education is not for everybody, and there's many more paths to success that
No.
doesn't involve, secondary education.
and it has no bearing on your intelligence. I know so many. I mean,
Yeah,
exactly.
all of us know someone who's very intelligent and has his own, what is it, plumbing business?
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about the same guy. I won't say his name, but I mean, his own house at like 22, 23, probably making close to six
And happy.
figures, if not six figures.
And
I mean,
happy.
Imagine.
Happy.
Happy. Above all,
true
he's
to
happy.
himself, honest.
Everything
What
you
more
want out
can
of
you
life.
ask for?
I mean,
you know?
I've one of my friends that I lived with in New York. Like, he was going to school. Well, like, part of the reason why he lived in New York was he was going to school down there, and he dropped out after like a semester, basically because the teachers told him, "Why the fuck are you here? Like, you already know what to do with what you want to do. Why are you here? Go do it. Like, stop wasting money and time. Go do what you want to do." And then go from there. Because he was going to school for entrepreneurship, basically.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Dude, you've been doing it. Why are you here?"
Well, Jordy, you went. Okay, so you went Hudson Valley. Then you went. Where'd you go that didn't even work out? And you're like, fuck.
Champlain College.
You know where
one
it did
semester.
work out? I know where it did work
Yes,
out.
you do. That's next.
I know where it did work out.
Where did it work out? Cortland.
Shout out Cortland.
It did work
Great
out
place.
in Cortland. Love
Great
Cortland.
place.
Yep.
Sounds like you had some fun in Cortland.
Yeah, it definitely had
I
some
think
fun.
we both had a ton of fun in Portland. It's hard not to. It's
I
everywhere.
am actually going to Cortica Jug this year
At Yankee Stadium?
Yankee Stadium. Yes, I am super hyped for that. Because
Yeah.
I'm going to meet up with all like my college friends and whatnot. It's gonna be a great.
Dude,
time.
I thought about it. I didn't put in the effort to arrange it.
Somebody else, I didn't have to do any effort. Somebody else created the group chat. Was like, "You guys want to go?" And I was like, "Say less.
Yeah,
I'm in."
If I got that text, it would have been the same. but-
Explain that. What's Cortica Jug?
Cortica it's Cortland versus Ithaca.
Oh, okay.
Big Division III rivalry. You gave a good fun fact 2-3 podcasts
So
ago.
it's called the Big Little Game.
Mm-hmm.
It's the only Division III game that's not the championship Division III football game that has Vegas betting odds. So if you go on
Okay.
like the Vegas line, like there will be a line for Cortica Jug, and it's Cortland versus Ithaca. It's the biggest rivalry. Like I had a shirt that literally said "Fuck Ithaca" right
Yep.
on it,
Yep.
like literally on it. Like, and it's everywhere. Like people would make shirts everywhere. It's the biggest shit show of like the year there. You're literally drunk from Friday through Sunday. Like as soon as you get out of class on Friday, if you have class, if you go, you're drinking, and then you're drinking until Cortica's over with on Sunday night some point. Because the game was on
those were
Saturday.
Some of the best days.
Sounds like a big party.
Huge party.
It's a lot of
Huge
fun.
party. People, alumni come. Like people that went to Cortland 30 years ago will come to this shit, or Ithaca, like both. And even like we had Evan on, one of the PTs we work with. He's from Ithaca, and I held it in for a little bit, and then eventually like it came out. But like I gave him shit because he goes to Ithaca, and whatnot. So it's cool that like that little rivalry is so big. It's huge. Like, and there's a whole like
Know that.
like who is it? Georgia, like when Division I schools have like a trophy thing that they give to each other. When
Maddie,
they play
how
a
much
huge
interest
rivalry.
do you have in quarterback?
I am like my eyes. Are, I'm looking at this
Alvin
lava.
and the Chipmunks,
I'm looking at this lava lamp right now and playing Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Let me tell you this.
Did you
I
look
mean,
over
like
and see
you,
Maddie?
like you, yeah.
So everyone
Like-
knows Maddie's the least sports guy.
See, what
probably.
intrigues me too is you are like not a big sports guy. You're a runner, but then you kind of immerse yourself in this group of guys who are sports guys.
Honestly, I'm probably next, and in this group, I'm probably next. in
Right,
that,
for
I
sure.
bet.
But like you still like you're a Sox fan. Like
yeah,
you,
but
yeah.
you know I'm not.
Fuck
like,
the Sox.
Right.
Fuck you, Paul. Sorry.
Well, I mean, Mike, you can't paint everybody with one brush because, yeah, you guys are
Yeah,
big
Mike.
into sports.
Sorry.
Yeah, come on,
Sorry,
Mike.
sorry.
But, like, we're all there, and we all kind of, like, and that's one thing. So when I first started with Sirani and Sons, and I knew that, like, you know, the painting company that we worked for, and I knew that, like, everyone was involved in baseball to some degree. I was like, I'm not gonna fit in there. I did theater in high school. I'm into movies and stuff like that. Like,
I think I
that's
felt when I came in.
You
I was
felt the same way,
everyone,
Phil?
yeah, everyone's clean cut. I'm in, just a kind of a old school party guy, like a little more rough around the edges, and everyone around me is kind of clean cut and into sports and stuff. But I ended up fitting in pretty well.
But that's the thing, like, after spending so much time with everyone, you realize how similar you are and how you all feel the same stuff. So it's like, of course, Then when we get to the sports conversations, I tend to zone out.
Well, this
and drool
is.
a little
I
bit.
want Jordy to tell this. I'm not great at it, but my favorite sports story in the last
this is
year,
my favorite
even though
sports
Matt's not a sporty
love
guy.
this.
This is my favorite sports
I
story
love
in the
this.
last year.
This
Fuck the
is-
Super Bowls and the World Series
Dude,
and
this
whatever
is-
else
Cody knows
happened.
this one. This
and I
is-
think Sam, were you there
Sam
too?
was there.
Sam was present for this. And Alex, just tune in right here. My favorite sports story of the year. Jordy, run it.
This was late last summer. This is the last time I cried laughing. So we're at
I
my
don't know what it
dad's.
is yet.
We're at my dad's like 50+ baseball game.
Yes,
which
yes.
is great. It's just a bunch of old heads like just living the dream. They're having so much fun.
I do know what it is.
That's him to me.
So it's me, Maddie, Cody. I
Crack a claw on that.
Well, Maddie,
my
you
mom, my
need it.
sister, Sam, we're all there to support him. We probably got 20 people in the crowd. We're half of it.
I honestly totally forgot. about
Yeah.
this.
Anyway, the situation in the game doesn't really matter, but obviously, batter steps in, pitcher's on the mound, takes his sign, batter holds his hand up, timeout. Umpire, pretty dramatically to make sure the pitcher sees him, throws his hands up, steps to the side, and he yells, "Time!" And I swear to God, before time leaves his mouth, Matty looks at his watch, looks up, and yells, 6:35. And the ump looks like he wants to beat the shit out of him. But Matt is so earnest. It is so honest.
6:35, standing up.
I thought he really wanted to.
Matt was really trying to help this guy out, and everybody's looking. Dude, I'm
The
in
ump probably thought he was
tears.
just a jackass. Oh, that's so funny. I do remember that.
Helping him out.
And then,
I'm gonna use that.
I laughed, so I cried, and then 5 minutes went by, and I think about it again. I start laughing and crying again. It was so funny, and it was so
That
sincere.
was so good.
Maddie, I'm gonna use that, and I don't care what time it is of the day. I'm gonna say 6.
That's like,
It's a symbolic time now.
what time was it?
11:33.
It was like 6 something.
It's okay.
Let's
That's
say
like,
that. Let's say
is this super bad? He's like, it's 10:33. I told her what time it was.
that. Yeah, right. I told her what time it was.
Oh, that's funny. I was gonna
That's
ask Maddie
a
something. I don't
classic
remember.
story.
That's a
great.
That's
So
a
good.
phenomenal story, man.
That's what happens.
Yeah,
when
but
you-
so earnest, just like trying to help the guy out.
Matt didn't know what he did wrong.
No, that's
said
one of the
time.
funniest parts. I really was like, oh, the guy needs to know the time. All right,
Told him what time it was.
got this handy dandy watch on there.
Matt, if it makes you feel better, my roommate Jay probably would have done the same thing. I was gonna ask you, have you ever had so my roommate Jay was he played baseball, but he wasn't a big sports guy as far as watching. And then there was one day I walked in, because we worked at the same gym. I walked into his office, and I shit you not, he's sitting there on YouTube watching Derrick Rose highlights. This is 2018, so
Yeah,
Derrick Rose
Derrick Rose. Yeah.
hasn't been he's good, but he hasn't been MVP Derrick Rose for years. Not that you would know that. Have you ever had the desire?
15
The
years.
desire
Excuse
to-
me, who's Derrick Rose?
I guess.
Is that a musician?
I guess to educate
Is he in
yourself.
Fargo, Paul?
Fuck Fargo. like, I guess to educate yourself and like learn, because like he literally like would just go and like watch highlights, and then all of a sudden I'd come home and he'd be watching a game. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Who are you, and where did Jay go? Because he never would watch sports like on his own. Like, have you ever had like the wanted to like learn more about it or dive into it more now that you have friends that are more into that kind of stuff?
No.
That's okay. I was just wondering.
And that's because I'm older now and I'm more comfortable and I know what I like.
Yeah,
and
that's
I'm, you know, I'm
important.
not. Not that I feel it's a waste of time because I will go to someone's game and it's mostly out of support and
Yeah.
like the community and
'Cause you're
stuff
empathetic.
like that.
Maddie, I feel the same way. And I own a business like structured around sports.
Mike doesn't watch sports.
I
at
don't
all.
watch sports at all. I scroll through. This is honest. If any kids listening, they're like, Mike's a fraud. I scroll through Twitter every morning. I pick up what I need to talk about if kids ask me sports questions, and I know enough.
That's
I don't
smart.
know the last time I watched a fucking sports game.
I haven't watched a full baseball game in a long time.
I'll
Baseball's
go
tough.
to
Baseball
games to
stuff.
support
3.5
people, but
hours.
that's it.
It's just like
Well, it's fucking boring.
It is.
Yeah.
exactly. So
Let's be honest. It's fucking boring.
I can watch football. Baseball.
Like I
Yeah,
said,
football's a lot easier.
growing up, I never had that presence in my life.
Right.
So then, you know, you would expect me, you know, like if I was going to go hang out with friends and go cold turkey and just, you know, turn on, you know, baseball game or football game. It's boring. Like it's like it's a lot of downtime.
Yeah.
It's a lot of it, and I'm like, what is so interesting about this? I'd rather go to the movies and watch something. I'd rather watch Alvin and the Chipmunks. Honestly,
Yeah.
Fall back.
I mean, hey, I don't blame you.
Yeah, I get it as a spectator because now, you know, I'm done playing. I'm a spectator. I'm like seventh inning and I'll watch.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah, I agree.
But dude, playing baseball is different.
So here's
playing
the thing, Jay.
game is different.
Here's where we offered also different. It may be because of your more laid back persona and attitude towards sports growing up. Because I burned myself out. Like I went balls to the wall from the time I was 12.
Dairy Queen Little League, Mike Sirani and I.
Yeah,
Undefeated
were
2
we
seasons.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah, come on.
Blue
What do you
team,
think this
dark
is?
blue. Were you
Light-
dark blue?
No, more lighter blue team, right? Or am I wrong?
We
Gray
had
team.
green jerseys, like jerseys, like
Yeah,
shirt
what
colors.
color?
Green and like blue one year.
Green and
Yeah,
blue.
I mean, come on, can't get any better than that.
is that Babe Ruth? No, that's a 12-year-old.
I probably look like Babe Ruth when I was 12.
Paul, weren't we on a team too at one point together?
We were on VFW with Rusty and Box. Like we were on VFW like that. That's what I remember. There's a picture somewhere from when minor league baseball.
We
were on
gotta
VFW.
find a picture of me and Cody and
Dude, I
fucking-
can find it.
Can you
there.
find
Yeah, I
it? We're
can
gonna
check
post
and
it if we can find
We've,
it.
I'll find
we've
Please.
shown pictures of prom my senior year to kids in here. Mike's got
Oh,
hair.
you were showing pictures?
Yeah,
Mike's got
Mike's got
hair.
hair, and my hair's
let's
like,
talk about
like
that.
your length.
So
Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
that
that's right. I remember you were always
this
shaved
has
head.
to do with what I'm about to say. I just went balls to the wall, super stressed for like 10 years,
And lost your hair.
and I lost my hair.
He also
And
didn't take the advice of somebody he worked
So
with.
when I went to massage school after my undergrad, like immediately after, just to give me, I know it sounds weird, just to give me like another tool to use people in here.
that's
But I
great.
had a
Makes
classmate
sense.
from Argentina. His name was Sergio, and he was a hairdresser. So I wasn't balding yet. I didn't think I was balding yet. And
Didn't
one
think,
Oh,
didn't
boy.
think he was.
didn't think I was.
This is gonna hurt.
And one day, and one day,
You did too?
Man,
I thought you did shave your head.
jeez, Alex, you're taking heat in the back. But here's the thing.
Shots fired.
too many
You,
times I met
hey,
myself in the
Alex, you
mirror.
tell me. Would you have listened to Sergio?
Who is that?
One day, Sergio showed up to class with a little basket or bag, I don't remember, and he said, "Mikey, I got this stuff for you. I see you're balding." I'm like, "No, I'm not." He's like, "I see you're balding. Use this stuff, and you'll be
He
good."
ignores you
I've been there,
completely.
Mike.
And I never used it. I threw it all away, and I'm fucking bald right now.
Yeah, but you're rocking the shaved head, man. That's
Yeah,
how
Yeah,
you
you
do
look.
it.
What age did you go bald?
Yeah, it was right after high school.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
probably like 20 I started going, and then by the time I was like 24, 25, it was
Okay.
like very gone.
Did it affect you, like,
She's like, I know the
emotionally,
exact age.
confidence-wise?
I realized right away I gotta grow a beard. So that's when I grew. I started growing a
Yeah.
beard in 2014, and then the beard gave me enough confidence to go out in public, and then I shaved my
Yeah.
head.
Yo,
And
Mike,
Okay.
Yeah, Alex.
Snapchat filters gave me the confidence
Ooh.
to shave my damn head.
the puppy dog one.
They had
Wait a minute.
they had the bald filters. I was like, okay,
It's happened.
this is finna be life. So
Oh, so you
let's take a few pictures.
Time to bick it.
Alex has been holding.
Kellard-Ashe looks great.
you look great
Mike-
with a bald head.
Mike looks
So do
great.
you.
I'm worried I'm gonna
come
look
here,
terrible.
come here, come here. Let's come here. Let's
You're
take
gonna
a
look
picture
fine,
with our
dude.
bald
I
heads
got a
together.
big forehead.
Sam,
Listen,
come
all
here.
I'm saying is Alex was definitely holding on
Oh,
for a good like
You were holding on
6
for a
years
while.
longer
My
than he
hair
should
was my
have.
confidence.
Yeah, dude. Once you let go, you can't
Wait,
get back.
Cody, you remember when he grew his hair out like after high school, right?
Yes.
Like tried to grow with the flow,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the Paulie D
Yep, I
type
remember
shit
that.
going
Yep,
on.
yep.
That was him. That was when he started holding
on to something.
And now we finally got here. We finally made it.
It looks
10
good,
years
though.
later.
Yeah.
Dude, it
He looks great.
Honestly, I think it looks clean.
I
It
also
looks sharp.
So I have a funny story for you two.
Okay.
Like 3, really, because I don't know if I told you this one or not.
Let's hear it.
Leave work one day. I got a couple messages from Alex while I was at work. I didn't look at them right away. I leave work one day. I get in my car. There's a video on my phone, like 3 of them. First video I pull up. First of all, Alex got no shirt on. But why the fuck's this guy got no shirt on? Sending me a video.
Are you talking about Alex?
Yeah.
Get over here, Alex. You can't talk about
And
you.
then-
Get on the mic. Share with Mickle.
And then
We can't talk shit and you're not on
I'm
the
not
mic.
talking shit.
Get over here.
But
Get over
then,
here.
so I get these videos of Alex, and he goes, "Listen, I'm only sending this to the real ones that know the struggle." And he proceeds to video himself, and I watched the whole fucking thing. Video himself shaving his head, and I watched the whole thing because I had to. As a loyal friend, I had to watch the
gotta
whole
support.
fucking the whole
Solidarity.
thing.
Yeah.
And he took time out of his day to send it to me, and I thoroughly laughed. He's like, and I don't even remember what you said at the end of it, but it was like the video
it's
was
depressing.
on point.
It
On
was very
point.
depressing.
It was, but you made it, and now you're here.
I went from thickness here and fur here.
Uh-huh.
That's when I had to make the jump because it was like I would get a haircut and it would last maybe 2 or 3 days of freshness. So I was like, oh, I feel good, and then the sides would grow back. I'm sure you can.
I would
test it
tell
out.
people, I would think, okay, what if I let it go? Can I do something with it? And I would think, I look like fucking.
These are the stages of grief.
I said, well, I would say this. I would think about it. Maddie, look, I would think about it and say, I look like fucking Benjamin Franklin if I just let it go. I'd be bald up top, I'd be flowing down the
I'll just put a
side.
hat on, like, we're good. We're good. The beard looks tough. Don't take my hat off because it's nothing good on the hair.
He did wear a hat a lot.
It works for Larry David.
Ever asked me
It does?
if you could grow your hair out?
Wait, the Ben Franklin look?
Yeah,
not
yeah.
for me though.
Mike, you look good
Somebody
with
was
your bald
like,
head
yo,
and
you
beard.
should
Very
grow your
good.
hair out. I was like, you're trying to get fucking tripped, bro.
Honestly, if I went
The
bald, I'd
only
shave
thing
the
that's
head.
going is this.
Yeah, let me tell you,
If I don't shave,
if it goes, it goes. And I know I got some weird.
Let me tell
shape
you what,
back
it's
here.
so much easier said than done.
What do you mean?
My hair is going back, and I don't know at what point you call it. I don't think I'm quite there, but I'm getting there. Within
Alex,
2 or
what do
3
you
years,
do?
I'll be there.
I took years, like Paul said.
10.
Like it took
10.
years.
Yeah.
Minimum of 10.
10. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's like 26, 27. It started thinning.
23.
And like everybody would be like, "Oh, you're thinning. Why don't you just let it go?" And I wasn't like personally, my self confidence wasn't at the where it needed to be to let it go. So I kept it, get haircuts here and there every week, probably every 2 weeks. And then it was just to the point where it was just hair. I had a conversation with my brother who's bald. We had like a group chat. I had to have like to sit family down and be like, listen,
Intervention.
y'all been through this.
Mike, get ready for
I'm
this.
going through it right now.
Jordan, you
Pretty
taking notes
sometime.
over there?
Yeah, I'm going to text you within a year and a half. 2 years.
But my
Just
cousin
shave
was
it.
just like, listen, it's hair, and it's not gonna grow back. I'll tell the camera. I tried Rogaine. I
Yeah.
tried
Oh,
multiple
I got a
things.
story.
And it just, you know what I'm saying?
He tried a lot of
it
things.
was never
I was witness. He tried a lot of
what I
things.
wanted
That's life, man. You know,
and what I expected. So I was just like, it is just hair. And if you get to the point 30s or whatever, you mature and you're like,
yeah.
either people are gonna accept me for what it is,
Yeah.
Or go
or
fuck
they're not.
yourself.
Jay,
But
that's
I'm going bald.
hashtag
and that's the
hashtag this
facts.
episode. It is just hair. That's
Yeah,
what
it
it is.
is just hair.
Yeah.
Just
Well, and
Yeah,
shave
dude, I
that
mean,
shit.
I'm not going to pretend it's not vanity.
I
It's
thought we was
vanity.
hashtagging Alvin and the Chipmunks. Hashtag it is just hair.
Come on, man.
Got me on Mike and now with hashtag.
I mean, your dad started going probably the same age, right,
He's
Dave?
20, 22.
Yeah, probably the same as me.
Similar?
The
Yeah.
best is when
Looks
Alex would make a LeBron joke about LeBron's hair receding,
Which
and I'd
is
have
ridiculous.
The head
and
down.
I'd have to hold in the joke for Alex because I'm like, bro. I'm like, you're
Throwing
right there.
stones.
I'm like, you're right there. Like in my head, I was like, you're right there, but I'm not
Do I
gonna do
now
it.
have more confidence?
Not
LeBron,
gonna
he
do
went, moved to LA and now he got a brand new hairline.
I mean, he's got the money.
I wish I had that kind of money.
He's got that money. He's got that money.
I'm like, it ain't going nowhere.
See, he's got to get that
Did he get hair transplants?
for Space Jam 2. I think
most
we put him in.
He got the Elon Musk.
No, I don't know. I'm not fucking watching Space Jam 2.
Yeah.
It's Space Jam 2.
Acting a fool.
Wait, Jay, what's your story? You got a Rogaine testimonial?
Yeah. One time I'm not sure if I think it was For Hims, you know,
Yeah,
shit
one of
that's
those
advertised on
Keeps
every
For Hims,
men's
yeah.
Alex, you
podcast
seen that
you've ever
before?
heard of. Forhims.com.
Did I see it? No,
Keeps.com.
Oh, yeah.
I was say a couple drops a day keeps the hair at bay.
Yeah, so
Listen, it didn't keep the hair at bay. It just kept it where it was. They're like, oh, you'll grow back a new hairline. No, you won't. You'll let it last for a few more weeks, and if you stop it, that thing's gone. You take a few days off. Understand that.
right,
It's
so that's
getting
the
thinner.
promise. You have to stay on it forever.
Yeah.
So I do the consultation, which is super fucking embarrassing. You got to slick your hair back and send them pictures of your hairline. Whatever. You let the ego go. You do it. You take the photos. You send them. They say, okay, like we see what you're talking about. You could use it. First question: have you ever had depression? And I go, yeah, I'm medicated for depression. They go, oh, sorry, we're not allowed to treat you. I say, oh, word, okay, so I'm gonna be bald and depressed. Is that what you want?
This will go fuck myself. Thanks for Hims.
For Hims, promo code exit10. Yeah, I mean, that's it. So then
That's
I said,
fucked up.
okay,
What if that helped
that's
with
it.
your depression to have more hair?
Didn't
They
matter.
don't give a shit.
Weren't I mean,
Word, I'll be depressed and
That was
bald.
it.
Thanks a lot.
that was it. So now, it's going back slowly, but it's going back.
You just shave your head.
I will say it's more than vanity because like you grow up with your hair, so when you start losing it, it's like the first sign of mortality.
It's
like,
mortality, and
that's
it's
a good point.
youth. I like to hang on to some youth. I like
Matt,
feeling youthful. Yeah.
So
Any grays in here?
I got over the baldness.
Yes, he does.
I got over the baldness like probably when I was like 26. Okay, this is me. I can still be a good person. I think people will still like me. I'm gonna go.
Mike, you're a great person.
Thank you.
We all love you, Mike.
And then I started growing back hair, and
Oh.
then
Oh.
and then my
Wait a
beard,
minute,
and then
wait
my
a minute.
and then my beard
a
went
hairy
gray,
dude, dude.
and you're just like, fuck, man, that's the big three.
Transplant the back hair to your head.
Ooh,
You ever think about
Someone we know.
How brilliant is that? I haven't thought about that. I don't know a single person that's done that.
But that could be the wave. That could be the new
That
wave.
could be it.
I have depression. I can't do it.
that? I don't have back hair though, so that's good.
Yeah, so you're doing okay. Hey.
I got a little
Mike, I
bit of
think the
that.
same thing happened to me.
It's a progression of life.
Hair migrates.
I was like, why is this growing on my back and not on my head?
I got some patches, I'll be honest. I'm a hairy dude, man. I got a hairy chest. What are you going to do? It's just hair.
It happens. Exactly. It's just
It's
hair.
just hair.
It's
just hair.
It's just hair.
There it is again.
It's just life. It's just hair.
It's just the way it happens.
That's
you
it.
know? But I do feel you, like, because it's like you said, like holding on to being younger. And
Yeah,
like,
it feels good, dude.
you know?
Look, I love having hair. Of course, you love having hair.
I mean, listen, I wish I could just not have my hair do anything but just stay in the same spot, because having curly hair, it's never the same every day. I can tell you that right now.
that's true.
Never once is it the same every day. Couldn't tell you.
people love curly hair.
I fucking
People
know.
do, and my
Mine's straight
brother.
and fine.
You want to be honest with you? That's why I grew my hair out.
Yeah.
Because when I was in college, everybody was like, "Dude, you got curly hair." I was like, "Yeah." They're like, "You should fucking grow it out." And I was like, "All right." And then everybody fucking loved it. And I was like, "Well, here we are." I had literally like a little longer than Cody's hair, which is just like buzz cut, basically.
That's
like,
what I do. Buzz
like
cut.
that was it, all through high school. And then one day I was like, "Let me grow my hair out." Now we're
gotta try
here.
it. It's
Now we're
better.
here.
But
Now
you're
we're here.
blessed, dude, because I mean, my younger
You're
brother.
blessed, Paul.
Apparently,
Seriously,
fuck.
my younger
Fuck.
brother's got the curly hair. It's beautiful. Everyone's always complimenting it, and then he got me with the straight, like
Oh, I got-
black.
Yeah, but
I
if
hair.
you
got
grew
straight
your
fine
hair out, I
hair.
bet you got
It's
straight flow. You got awesome flow.
I don't know, because
Dude,
it
my hair
kind of
grows
gets
out, it
goofy
does.
on the sides. I got to keep mine
Same
short.
with me.
Yeah.
I hate it. So I keep it
That's
short.
Paul's look. I had a either 8th grader or 9th grader just come up to me yesterday. Paul's on the other side of the gym. I was in the back corner by home plate. And I don't know what we were talking about, but he's like, sometimes I just look at Paul's tattoos. He goes, I don't even know what they are, he goes, but it's just so cool.
I remember that. That was funny. That was a good time. Good time. Sometimes I get kids in here, they're like, what is all this on your arms? And I'm like,
It's art.
that's a lot.
It's art.
It's a lot to
art.
explain.
Is that new, Cody? Did you have that when I was with you?
Got that last summer. It's
the way you lifted your arm up, you like waved.
waving.
Rorschaching.
Kind of looks like that.
what do you got there? What's going on there?
It's a symbol for a band I like, and the band's it's got a really great name. It's called I Hate God.
Oh,
It's literally the
Jesus.
name of the band.
All right. Well,
But besides that, I like the way it looks, and it's supposed to be like a phoenix, like a gothic take on a phoenix.
Okay.
So I always liked it, and I just got it. Didn't think much about it.
It's better than a symbol for Red Hot Chili Peppers.
That is true. This is true. His brother has
also
a Red Hot Chili
know
Peppers
someone
symbol.
with that?
Wait,
His younger brother.
My brother.
Oh, you got to think
And-
about that before
hold on.
you do it.
And the Jägermeister symbol on his back.
Does he also have a bridge with somebody laying under it? Next to the Red Hot Chili
That
Peppers
should
says
be the next one.
Does he drink those super masculine energy drinks?
Mike, go get them. Actually, I need a pallet of those delivered to my parents right now.
I just like things that look cool. If I like it, it looks cool,
Yeah.
I get it. Why not?
Mikey, you got some ink, yeah?
Yeah, I've got 3.
All sentimental, no?
All sentimental, all writing, and as close as I've ever been to getting my next one. Every time,
We've talked about it a lot
yeah,
recently.
every time I've thought about one and I think about the idea, and then it finally clicks in. I pull the trigger pretty quickly.
You can second guess yourself too quick too.
Yeah, you can
know,
too.
That's why
You
I
just
just
gotta
do
go do it.
That's why I just do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I let it sit for a bit. So I have one on my back. I have one on my arm. That's my grandfather's handwriting.
Oh,
It's
yeah?
so he passed away when we were 12.
Yeah.
And he kept journals every day, which is super
Oh, yeah?
fucking cool.
I didn't know that.
So, and he was always like super positive. Like he could just write about having, the hardest day, and he'd be like, "Well, the weather was nice. It was a beautiful day." So this is just beautiful day stenciled in his handwriting.
Okay. That's cool.
Then I have peace and love on my chest, which is like semi from the Howard Stern
That's a
drop.
Stern.
It's
Yup.
a Howard Stern drop.
Ringo
That's
Starr.
exactly what it is.
Ringo Starr,
Ringo
baby.
Star.
Here, Paul, find that because everybody always asks me about this
Peace and
tattoo.
love.
What am I
peace
looking
and
at?
And they're
Love.
always like, "Oh, that's like peace and love.
Your-
That's so nice."
Does your
I'm like,
dad have it?
Yeah,
Dave's got it too.
Alyssa's got a symbolic
What is it,
version.
peace and
It's
love?
the
Just
sign
do
of
Ringo
the
Starr,
heart.
peace and love. Play it. That's what it's from. It's like peace and love is nice, and we all should have peace and love,
Yeah,
especially
right.
It's
today
funny.
in the world.
I remember the group chat where it's like, "Hey, we're gonna get this. Who wants in?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "No."
But when you think about the context of why Ringo was saying peace and love, it's because he didn't want fan mail
It makes
anymore.
me even better. I don't want emails, so it's like
Peace and love. It's disguised fuck off.
Yeah, exactly.
Everything
Peace and
that's
love.
coming up when I search this is like basically like he doesn't want you to fucking talk to him.
That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That is
Totally
right.
what it is.
play the video.
But he was
Paul.
too nice. He would respond to
I don't
every
know
fan
what it.
mail.
Where's the volume?
Serious message to everybody watching my update right now. Peace and love, peace and love.
Yep.
I'm warning you with peace and love, but I have too much to do.
Thanks, Ringo.
Thank you. And no objects to be signed, nothing. Anyway, peace and love, peace and love.
And go fuck yourself.
So that is definitely
That's so Mikey.
that is 100%.
Maddie, the Beatles are great, right?
The Beatles are awesome.
Comes full circle. Beatles are awesome. That's right.
Paul just turned 80.
Yep.
Yeah.
He
I
did.
didn't turn 80.
Actually, for a hot second, I was like,
I'm like, I am 32, bitch. But yes, I know who
Yes,
you mean.
Paul McCartney.
He did turn 80.
But it's funny because that's like the underlying meaning. But people think, oh, it's like peace and love. That's so nice, Mike. I'm like, yeah, but yeah.
Yeah, but think,
off.
but when you know what
Yeah.
it really means, you're like, wow, fuck you, Mike.
leave me alone. Leave me alone, will you?
That is Mike.
Let
though.
me alone. Let me be.
That is literally couldn't be more Mike.
Will you
It's
ever?
perfect.
Will you ever pull the trigger, Jay, and get one?
Yeah, I will. I've had a couple ideas floating around.
We
that
talked about it up in Vermont.
I feel like
Yeah, and that's the one I want to get. It's words. It's a quote. Yeah, I want to get it.
I feel like we talked about it. Like,
Yeah,
like
you told
recently.
me about Jesse. And
Yeah.
I mean, your
Bioshock
stuff
chain.
looks great. It's just so
It's so-
fucking generic. I
Are you
know.
gonna, you gonna get,
I
you
know
gonna get-
someone that has it, so you can't.
Are you gonna get barbed wire on your bicep?
Oh, yeah. We should bring that back. You know?
Maybe cross my.
Remember when that was
calves.
popular?
My forehead, like Jesus. Yeah.
Fucking
Bad tats.
Forehead tattoo.
Yeah, forehead
Ice,
tattoo.
ice cream on your face like Gucci Mane.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's
see
right.
what Post Malone has. I'll just mimic that.
Yep.
Oh, jeez.
Does Limp
But there,
Bizkit have a
like, if you
symbol
ever
that I
listen
can-
to Post Malone,
Actually,
the
yeah,
reason
yeah.
why he did it,
I've listened to Post Malone.
everyone's going to talk about why he did his tattoos.
Why?
Because essentially it was because he fucking hated himself
Yeah.
and like got the tattoos.
Why
to
does
hide
anyone
himself.
get a face tattoo?
Exactly?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
But
I'm all
it's-
in favor of tats.
I'm not
That's
in
a
favor-
tough
Tell me he
move,
doesn't hate
though.
himself more after all those tattoos.
Well, it's also funny when you listen to him talk about his cigarettes. He's like, yeah, when I fucking get to like my third pack, I know I'm a piece of shit, so I'm gonna go to sleep at this point.
Self-loathing is strong. Yep.
And I'm like, damn, bro. I'm like, you
He's
got
from
some
Syracuse.
issues.
He is. Yep.
Yep.
From Syracuse. Yep. I remember hearing that.
Austin Post.
Makes sense.
From
Yeah.
Q's. But yeah, that's part of the reason why he has those face tattoos, because it was to like hide himself from himself and from everybody else.
Yeah. All right.
But he is.
still
He does look
bold.
like a. When you,
As a man,
the-
respect. I'm
the-
sure he's great.
the
His
rock
music,
star-
I just can't get with
the
it.
rock star analogy, I'll never take that out of my brain.
That's a bold move.
It's accurate.
Just
Yeah.
because your self-esteem is so low to get face tattoos.
Yeah, that's.
If you really think about it, that's
Yeah,
so
I guess you just
bold.
want the world to treat you as you treat yourself.
But here's the
Yeah,
crazy.
actually.
Here's the crazy part about the world. Jordy tried to get some hair growth cream, and they
Yeah,
asked me if he was
Christ.
depressed. They said he can't get it. You want to get a face tat? They should ask you, like, are you depressed?
That's true.
You know what I mean? It's fucking
true.
crazy.
That's a good point. Are you
That is a
doing
good
okay? Can we help you?
Are you depressed or do you need help?
That's just a
It's a
wild
suicide
world.
hotline right here.
Like if Mike Tyson walked in and said, "I want a face tattoo," I'm probably gonna give it to him because he'll knock me the fuck out. But if Post Malone comes in, I'm like, "Are you depressed? Are you okay?
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong?"
I know. That's
You
crazy.
know. But yeah,
What about you, Maddie? Any tattoos in the future?
Nothing. Nothing.
You
I,
don't-
I can't even think of anything.
You don't want to get the Iron Man logo on your calf?
I have to do an Iron Man before I can get the Iron Man
true.
logo.
I thought you were talking about like Iron Man, like
Yeah.
Oh,
I
see,
too. I
that
thought that
Iron
for a
Man I would
second.
jump
Like,
to
I thought you-
first.
Do you have
just did the
a
hard
core.
Do you have a 13.1 bumper sticker?
No, I
I'll
don't.
smack you if you have
I
that.
hate
Do you judge people who do?
I'll key your car if it has it on
If
it.
you have that stupid bumper sticker,
I don't know. Like
0.0. Have you seen that one?
I saw it
That's a
today.
good one. 0.0.
That would be mine.
Yeah.
That would be
See,
mine.
that
I'm gonna
one's
get
funny
that.
because it's ironic, but
Yeah.
like, I mean, like, if you're gonna go for like the 13.1, I don't know, like, it's.
If you had 26.2, I'd be okay with that. 13.1, like you halfway made it.
But here's the thing,
Just
like,
letting people know that you're so cool that you just
yeah,
did something.
I mean, I don't know. But then again, that's me. Just like naturally, I'm not someone who's gonna slap any bumper sticker on. 'cause
Bumper stickers are awful.
Yeah.
Can we all agree on that?
Yeah, I think we all.
Dude, they're
unanimously.
goofy. They're just goofy. If you got
Yeah.
a bumper sticker, you're goofy.
Please read the
You're a
back of my
goober.
vehicle or something stupid.
What do you,
Yeah,
if
it's
you're
like-
putting your identity on your car,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like, I mean, I don't know. Start a journal.
Well, Mike
Do
and I have had
something
this
else.
We're not car people, so
No, but I'm definitely not a bumper
definitely not
sticker
a bumper
person.
sticker
No,
person.
terrible.
And I love people with like the ADK stickers on
Like-
there, and they're from New York. It's like, dude, you're from here. It's not like you went to like some
Yeah.
extravagant like.
Yeah. It's not like
So-
you have the Grand Tetons.
Nah,
something like that.
Exactly.
Those, you know what drove me crazy too? In high school, people would have the fucking truck nuts. Remember those?
No, truck nuts are funny.
Yeah. Well, now it's like ironic.
Alex, they're not cool. Not
No,
good.
truck nuts are cool.
I will take truck nuts actually. So give me some truck
Truck nuts are hilarious.
I would definitely do truck nuts over a bumper sticker.
Truck
Yeah.
nuts. Yeah.
But
Cody
I would
got
make
his
it
name
so
tattooed
ironic.
on
I'd
his-
put truck nuts on like a Mini Cooper.
No, it is.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
yeah.
good. Yeah.
I've
See,
had
that's
this
funny.
idea to put truck nuts on my friend's like Mazda
You should
3
put it-
hatchback
That's
forever.
great. That's funny. Yeah.
They never notice it. The car rides so low to the ground.
Yeah.
I gotta
They
pull
would
the
they would
trigger.
notice it because the nuts would drag on the ground.
Dragging on the ground.
I'll get a tight sack. I don't know.
What if you put the truck nuts and you put a 13.1 sticker at the
Yes.
same
And then
time?
80K on the other side.
the Lake George
Yeah, oh, yeah,
back
yeah.
windshield.
Yeah. God, people are so stupid.
And we're laughing at them. It's great. But hey, it
I don't
happens.
know. Do what you want. Make yourself happy.
I guess so. You know, and that's
You know
like
what?
at
If it
the end
makes
of
you
the
happy,
day.
Sure.
if it
It's
does
just fun to
make you
shit
happy-
on them, though. You know?
Yeah, I mean,
fun.
I listen. They're gonna shit on me for some things that make me happy. So you know
Exactly.
what?
That same person's looking at you and they're like, look at that person with
Look at that
no
guy."
stickers on their vehicle. Like, what a loser. They haven't done anything in life. Look at me.
Now he's got Alvin and Chipmunk sticker.
I've got an Alvin and the
Truck
Chipmunk
right now.
sticker on there.
Just crawling along the side of your car.
Yep.
Jason Lee's face glued to the back windshield.
Yeah, just a back decal.
You know something?
Huge.
Someone needs a Jason Lee sticker. That poor man has been hiding from the public
You know
for a
what,
very
Maddie?
long
I'm gonna
time.
buy you one for your car.
Amazon.
Window decals.
on there.
Get me a Jason Lee window decal.
So it takes with the whole back window. That's what I'll do for
I
you.
wonder where he is right now.
Why are you so worried about it?
Because it's like, you know, you're watching this guy, he had a hit TV show, was in a few movies, you know, Kevin Smith, that was really big at one point, but now he's just gone.
Who cares?
I do, I care.
You worried about
But he never
Jason
did
Lee?
anything.
This made me look up Jason Lee.
He never
How's
did
he
anything
doing? Is he
good.
alive?
What has
He's
Jason Lee
alive.
been in? Like, what's the last film he's been
Probably
in?
Clerks 2 or something like that.
No.
No,
like,
it was-
like a cameo or something?
Yeah, he was in that, remember?
Have we checked in on George Lopez?
He came
God,
up
I
in
forgot about
conversation
that guy.
today. I was talking to my friend at work about him. Why?
Yeah.
I don't know. Curiosity. Because he had Lopez Tonight, and I literally brought up Lopez Tonight, and I used to watch that
George
for some
Lopez.
reason because I was a kid who stayed up too late.
You were in the theme song to the show.
I was really into Lowrider.
I forgot that was the theme song, but it is.
It's really catchy.
Jason Lee, we Bear Bears, the movie.
Ooh, okay.
And then the last one was the Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
Okay.
Okay.
Which was probably just a cameo.
Yeah.
So now you know.
Yeah, he's not doing a lot.
No,
Not doing a lot.
that's
I'm sorry,
sad.
Maddie.
He got paid. He's happy.
Yeah, he got paid.
Made his money. That's a smart move. You kind
you-
of dip into a couple movies and then
Yeah.
Are you okay with that answer, Matt?
I am.
He
and I-
is in all of the Alvin and Chipmunks movies.
He is.
There's four.
There's 4. Okay, so there's 4 Alvin.
Can you edit the
I got some catching
Wikipedia
up to do.
page? Add something about Matt.
Where do I fucking go? Because I totally would.
This episode of Off Exit 10 is brought to you by Anchor and the all-new Anchor Pro, crafted to endure the most high-performance workouts without the high cost and space requirements of a standard cable machine. Named the best portable cable machine by Men's Health Home Gym Awards, Anchor provides the full functionality of a cable machine in one small space-saving unit. Designed with user-friendliness in mind, Anchor can simply be attached to any squat rack or placed on any wall in your home gym using its intuitive sliding track mount. With up to 65 pounds of resistance, Anchor is built for high speed and controlled exercises alike, from cable presses and rows to chops and lifts. The Anchor has been a game changer for us here at CDSF, and now you can enjoy the same professional quality cable machine in your own home gym by heading over to anchortraining.com and using code CDSF10 for 10% off your order today. Get all the benefits of a cable machine without the high cost and installation fees. Enjoy the portable luxury and space-saving performance of Anchor today by going to anchortraining.com and using code CDSF10 at checkout. That's anchortraining.com, promo code CDSF10 for 10% off your order today. But listen, we've all talked about our dynamics and our upbringing and things we've been through and changed. But like Alex, you came in, like later to Chatham, where we all grew up, in Matty Hudson, right?
Mm-hmm.
You came in high school, yeah?
Sophomore year.
Mm-hmm. I remember you
was,
walking.
it
I remember
was
you
a
walking in the
little
football
awkward.
locker room.
I'm not gonna lie.
I have a vivid image of you walking in the football locker room, and Chatham doesn't have a lot of
African
diversity.
Yeah.
It's the word I was trying to use, diversity.
Josh guys.
And
Shout out to Josh.
Alex walked in, and everybody on the team was like, "Holy fuck, Alex is here!" And I'm like, just another fucking kid. But like, Alex and I became close like immediately. So like, it was just one of those things. Like again, Coty and I talked about it off air about. Didn't matter who you were. Like we just wanted to be. I just wanted to be friends with
I
people.
saw a nervous looking new kid coming in. I was like, this guy's, I'm just going to, try and be his friend. He's probably walking in blind to a new school.
Yep.
And then we got along like gangbusters,
Yeah.
Most definitely.
Absolutely.
But it was tough for you, Alex. You came from downstate. Where?
Nershaw. So
So it's a
moved
big
up.
change coming to the fucking country of
the sticks.
fucking Chatham.
It was a culture shock, to be honest. It was just I didn't feel like I fit in. So it's like I went from diversity to predominantly white. I'm not trying to sound crazy, but it is what it is.
I mean, it's
It's the truth. It's not
95%.
crazy.
And went from kids that didn't notice my skin color to me sticking out, to kind of latching on to Coach Brantley for the first year because he was another mixed person, and I was having a struggle with like making friends because I was being judged based off my clothes and my appearance and not really my character.
Right.
But eventually I met good people like Paul, you, Brian Gauthier, Zach Cram, their families. Because in Westchester it was just so big that there wasn't family dynamics reaching out to you. So when I moved up to Chatham, the one thing that I noticed was, parents being involved, like hands-on, like Coach Niles and Coach Cram and the Summers and, obviously Donna with Paulie.
Shout out Donna.
Yeah, shout out
Shout out Donna,
Donna.
for
Because
real.
she's an amazing mother. And just like caring. And I didn't have that. So that was a pivotal point. And just people accepting me after a while was definitely pivotal in that transition.
The family dynamic is definitely like a super important piece of a small town, but like you give the other side. You come to this upstate town in New York where it is like predominantly white, and you come in just like, the fuck's going on here? And
Eyes wide open.
Eyes wide open for sure. And it's like, I don't know where things are at now there, but like you felt uncomfortable or not accepted, or?
I wouldn't say uncomfortable. It just was like I didn't fit in, and like Coty said outside, like there was cliques. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody had their people, and I was just kind of like, I was an athlete, so football I would make friends. You know what I'm saying? Basketball I had my friends, but it was like outside of sports I didn't really have that. But eventually, you know, I would start hanging out with box. Obviously, I spent time with Paul and his family. Zach, we spent time together, so it's like.
Bro, I had a room at your house.
Yeah, almost definitely.
Mary made your mom made a whole room for me.
Most
basically.
definitely, but
it was dope. Like, and that's the family vibe that you talked about.
Yeah, and eventually, like, I'm still here today, and it's because like the love from the town and just like Jordan said, just figuring out who I am and what exactly is what I want to do with my life.
Right.
And I'm in my 30s, and I'm still figuring it out. So it's like you guys said, there's no set agenda. There's no set, like, life plan for you. You kind of learn as you go. And you learn from losses, and you learn from wins. And you roll with the punches and try to do the best you can day in and day out.
Yeah, we're all just figuring it out. That's what we're all
I
doing.
mean,
But we're gonna figure it out until the day we're gone and we can't figure it out
I'm
anymore.
on the figured out path for a long time, my friend.
Yeah, I think we're there.
It's
We're
for
there.
life.
You're
I'm
there
right
till
there
the
with you,
grave,
Cody.
man.
That's for life, man. Just because
Yeah.
I'm 31 doesn't mean shit. I still don't have everything figured out.
My goal
There's
is
no time limit. So.
my goal in here is, and I've said this on multiple podcasts, is just to give kids in here the shortcut to not make some of the same mistakes I made, or the shortcut to, okay, you could do this at this point, or you could skip that part because it sucks,
Yeah.
and get to this point faster. So you're at where I was at 25 at 23,
Yep.
or 22.
And that is great advice.
Yeah, because and I think too many times kids in here think that, you know, there's the secret sauce or whatever, right? But it's just like, I just want to give you a few tips here and there, whether it's weightlifting, life, sports, music, whatever it is that you're interested in. Let me give you a couple little tidbits of advice that are going to give you a shortcut to there.
And
That's
I
it.
think overcoming adversity is a big part of shaping who you are, and that's not a bad thing to overcome some things, as long as you can take it for what it is and get perspective on it. So I've been through plenty of adversity, and getting over it and learning from it has kind of shaped who I am. And I think some of it's important to just, you know, face challenges and obstacles in life. And, you know, I wouldn't say that kids need to face certain challenges, but I think there's nothing wrong with some adversity.
Absolutely. There's nothing wrong with facing.
You will at some
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
No matter how
That's
many
life.
shortcuts I give you, you're still going to face a
Yeah.
fucking challenge,
Yeah.
you
For
know?
something. Yep.
And when you think
No matter
about
what it
that, like one of the challenges, and I don't know if Mike was going to touch on this with Alex at all, but one of the things that I think about that was a big thing that challenged Alex is probably everything, mental, physical, all of that, was his senior year of high school and not being allowed to play sports.
Yeah, I know.
His senior year of high school, which is, we talked about it with Jordan and your identity and all of that. Like, how did that affect you, one, as a senior in high school,
Yeah.
but then also, you know, going into adulthood after you graduated high school, and, you know, whether you were going to go to college or start working or whatever it is, like making life decisions for yourself essentially as an adult, even though you're only 18 years old.
Yeah.
Like, when you weren't allowed to play high school sports, how did that affect, how do you feel like that made you think about the next phase of like your life?
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
take a sip. Take a sip.
And actually, I don't know too much about that, so yeah.
I know a lot about it.
Yeah.
Well, you
So I'm curious.
well, you talked about coming to Chatham. It was tough for you, and some people there didn't make it any easier for you. And then sports was this outlet for you where you could connect with families that you say, hey, these fucking people care about me, or hey, you know, these guys, they see me for me, and I enjoy being with them. And then that gets stripped away, man.
Snatched.
So, senior year, I mean, I'll take accountability. That was solely on me, because I mean, before I moved up to Chatham, I was making immature decisions, and I switched school districts, and I couldn't accept that. So I took a year of just not going to school and doing stupid stuff, and it caught up. And a lot of events led up to why I ended up in Chatham, and I think Chatham taught me a lot and like gave me my own identity, because in Westchester, I feel like I was living kind of in a shadow of who my brother was. And when I moved out of that area, I was more or less my own person. And then I was establishing who I was as an athlete, and that's who I knew myself as. And then my senior year came, and I was preparing, and I was working out with you, and just getting hype about senior year, not thinking about the past, and the past ended up creeping up. And 2 days before my first football game, after being captain and all that stuff, I got told I couldn't play sports, and it messed me up.
Yeah, it's a tough life lesson to learn at that age, you know?
Yeah.
It's tough when they're like, at some point our identity is challenged, or you lose that aspect of your life that you did identify with. And sports is that for a lot of people, or it could be a job or a relationship that you had. But to be a 17, 18, 19-year-old, it's like,
Crushed.
it's tough.
Yeah, when they said that I was no longer a student athlete and I was just a student, I didn't know how to identify myself,
right.
because my whole life I put so much work into, like you were saying, the 10-year span of like just grinding. Like I saw myself as an athlete, and yeah, me being a student was something on the side, but like football, basketball, and track or whatever the case may be was how I identify myself. And when I didn't have that, I turned to the weight room and turned to friends and tried to figure it out, but it was tough.
Yeah.
And all you can do is learn from it and try to roll with the punches.
So what was the main reason why that year of eligibility, or that your senior year of high school, you weren't allowed to?
Because now, like
play?
the way rules are with sports, it's so much different.
Well,
than
COVID
when-
changes everything.
COVID changed everything.
But let's scratch that.
COVID, but even still, like you can reclass and all that.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. So the reason why I couldn't play my senior year was because freshman year I took advantage of my eligibility for 1 year, and they said my senior year that was my first year of eligibility. So that being said, I exited out of that whole year, and it put me in a position where I had 3 years to play. So my sophomore year, my junior year, I played in Chatham, and then I had to challenge the state. Now in 2022,
See, this is an interesting thing too. If you're okay to talk about this.
almost definitely. So I skipped school. My mom put me in therapy for depression, because I didn't know I was depressed. I was telling her I wasn't depressed, but honestly, changing school districts and not being with my friends, and the idea in my head that like I was gonna be with them and like live out my high school years with them kind of messed me up. So I did therapy, and my junior year we had challenged the state for depression, and 2 days, I think it got declined once, and then we reappealed, and then 2 days before my senior year was starting, they had declined me for the year. Now, this day and age, 2022, if some kid says they're depressed, I would think that they would, cater to that feeling. But back then, it was more or less like they were looking at me like I took advantage of an opportunity and I didn't execute on what I wanted to get done.
not knowing that you're a 14-year-old at that time and don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
You know, it's
But,
tough.
yeah, times definitely changed. I mean,
They haven't changed for Jordan and his hair. His depression didn't let him get his fucking hair.
I'm fucked up.
listen, it is what it is. You're going to get to a day where you're like, it's just hair, and like, it is what it is.
Hashtag it's
Jordy,
just hair.
I look forward
I
to it.
will
Listen,
say,
Dave
you're-
looks good. Mike looks good.
You look great over there.
My brother, my dad is bald. It is what it is. Like jeans, jeans are
Get the
okay.
clothes out right now, man.
Jeans are
will you shave your head?
understable.
I'm gonna shave my head out of solidarity.
Yeah, exactly.
Alex, Mike, Mike,
Thank you.
Jay in the future.
Listen, all I'm saying, Jordan, is you've made it this far.
Yeah.
Your hairline
Almost
looks
30.
better than Alex did for the last 5 years.
Okay, I'll take
It also probably looks better than Mike's did when Sergio came.
Yes.
Listen, I got to feel slow. I've known these guys for a long time. A couple low blows is okay. All right. But when Sergio came to Mike, I guarantee you Jordan's doing better than that. But Sergio probably would say, here's some products, Jordan. I can see your hair going back. You're definitely doing better than Alex was doing for at least 3 years. 3 to 5.
Back to Alex. Then.
Listen, you're on the mic now,
Under the
so
bus.
you're.
My father said, "God only makes few perfect heads. The rest of his hair on."
Listen, you got way better
I
head.
shaved it and I was like, "Listen, thank you for giving me a decent size head
Yeah, you got a good
because
head.
this could be awkward right now."
Well, that's
And shout out to Snapchat with the filter, the bald filter. Because if it wasn't for the bald filter, I would still probably have fur in the middle of my head.
You have the.
It worked out.
It
Yeah,
did.
man.
I gotta download Snapchat, I guess.
I was like, "Yo,
Just
is
to see the
this-
future.
You
Just to see the future.
go on Jordy's saved images, just like fucking 20 of all different bald angles right here.
the serious face, the smile, like it was bad, bro. I went through it, and it's like that's more of like a self-confidence thing, and like hair is like power.
Yeah.
Like it's confidence to you. You get a haircut, you feel confident.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel great every time
Yeah.
I get a haircut.
I get tight every
Honestly,
time I
me
look at
too.
your curls, to be honest with you. I get tight when I look at my nephew's curls. I'm like, give me some of that. Never mind. It'll look weird now. But it's just like hair, you're used to it. Like you said, like, this is what
It's a part of you.
It's me. This is the face I've looked at for
Extension.
20
It's
years.
a part of you, and then when it goes, it's
See,
like,
you say
oh my
hair
god,
is-
like what? Like I was used to that for 20-something years, and now it's gone. Like, oh my gosh. So I
I-
completely get that.
I
Like,
still look back at pictures.
Yeah,
It's
but that's the
depressing.
thing. Well, who was I talking? I think it was actually Mike and Jordan's dad I was talking to, and he was telling another friend of ours who was considering getting a certain surgery to
The
get
man
his
who
hair
followed
back.
through on it?
Yes, and
Yeah.
this certain person followed through on it. And Dave was like, "Listen, you can't look back." And this guy was like, "I'm looking at pictures and I see it's progressing. I'm getting thinner up there." And after Dave had this conversation and said, just rock it, shave your head, don't look back. This man still got that
Got hair
said surgery.
A lot of that's fear of getting old too.
It is. It's
That's the root of it,
insecurity.
really. Yeah.
I've never known Dave with hair, so if that makes
No,
anybody, if that
me
makes
neither.
anybody feel better.
Barely,
Never
neither.
known Dave with hair.
And it probably makes it easier, honestly. Like
And I don't think when I look at Dave, like, oh, Dave's bald. I just know Dave is Dave.
as Dave,
Just-
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
And I forgot to mention this earlier, and whether or not this even makes it with all the editing we're probably gonna have to do on this, Jordan. But I do remember when we're talking about Dave's work ethic. Dave is the only baseball coach I ever remember making me do 100 push-ups in like 100-degree humid weather because
push-ups.
my cell phone alarm went off during All-Star Saturday. It wasn't even like
Yeah.
I didn't get a
25.
message, I didn't get a call,
do the
I didn't get a
physical.
text. I had an alarm set for some stupid fucking reason, and Dave had made a rule: if your phone goes off, you got 100 push-ups. Guess who had to do a fucking 100 push-ups?
Dude, we
That's
used to
true.
class. I have a
Right
buddy
there,
who will
yeah.
still bust my balls about this, but he would have us do bear crawls.
Dude, your dad was ruthless,
He would have us do
but I loved
bear
it.
crawls, and after every set, he would go, "Jordy, how you feel?" And of course, I'm fucking pissed, and I want to be like, "Fucking fine, fine. This is nothing."
It's an
And the
adversity
whole
thing.
team would have to do them again, and everyone
no.
fucking hate me.
Yeah, you'd be like, I feel great.
Yeah.
I feel like $1 million, Dad. And you're like, and the whole team looks at you like, I
Yeah.
fucking hate you.
That's how it would.
This was, yeah, well,
But that would be the answer every time. If you hated it, or if you were like, "Oh yeah, I'm fine,"
I'll do
it
more.
would have been do it
100
again, more, do it again, do it again.
Davey,
Probably true.
two to three times.
Yeah,
Davey,
listen,
2 to 3.
he has Matt. He'd be like 6:33,
Yeah, right.
635, 635.
6:35. Sorry.
Which is why I lasted so long with him. I was a veteran of the painting company for sure.
He never tried that kind of stuff with me, but I think it was just because I kind of already established myself as kind of who I am.
You
in a
came
way.
in as an adult.
Yeah, in a way.
I mean, I was 14
Yeah.
at the time,
Yeah,
Cody.
yeah,
It was
yeah.
all
I was
stars for Little League.
28. Yeah, exactly.
I'm
Yeah,
at
a little
home. I'm
different
at
there.
home plate, fucking banging out 100 push-ups. Everybody's watching me. I'm like, this fucking sucks.
Thanks, Dave, if you're listening.
Dave, I still love you. I love you, Dave.
We all love Dave.
We all do. He's like, you
Agreed.
know, he's helped connect all of us. Like I
All
think,
of us,
yeah.
I think about the
We're all here
guys that
because of him.
I think about all the guys that were in my wedding that I'm still close with. It's like, what's the
Common denominator.
what's the common denominator? And it's like, it's Dave.
I'm here because of Dave.
Maddie too.
Us
Same.
right now.
Maddie and I are friends because of Dave.
Yeah.
He's one of
You-
my most
Cheers
cherished
to
friends.
Dave
Yeah.
Cheers to Dave.
Cheers,
Dave.
Cheers to
Maybe
Dave. You guys
this is
cheers
So
it
you
up.
guys cheers. I got
And all of us.
Yeah.
I got nothing in my glass, so
Air
this would be
cheers.
awkward for
Yeah.
cheers.
No, I think that.
I literally just finished my drink too. I'm a little upset that cheers happened right after I finished it.
Shout out
You're
Lisa.
a spirit.
Shout out
And
Lisa,
Lisa,
too.
Lisa, yeah.
Yeah,
we do
Mom
have shout out.
Jones.
Machine that keeps the
Kept it
business
together.
going.
That's right.
Keeps Dave from
Listen,
going over the
most
edge.
definitely.
Absolutely.
Alls I know is most recently Lisa helped surgically like repair Jordan's arm when he decided to shove a tree branch through it.
Oh,
Yeah, dude.
A tree branch
She stopped me from
That's
bleeding out.
scars.
on
Alex.
Alex, you see that?
Yeah, she put a
What
tourniquet
happened?
on me within a minute.
First of all,
he decided
like
to climb a tree.
that just goes to show how
Climb a
like
tree.
Lisa can
I've
just
climbed
like
trees before. What the
Lisa
hell?
flipped the switch and
okay.
was like, all right,
What was you climbing?
it's time to tourniquet
Yep.
this guy.
Lisa's the rock.
Were you?
Rock.
Could you have bled out?
That's a tough spot.
Dude, I mean,
Could
that
you
seems
bled out?
that seems
It's not funny,
extreme.
but it's the
That
way
seems
you
extreme, but I left
Not bled out,
a
but-
gnarly trail of blood on my way up to the house. It was bad news for a minute. Yeah, I looked down and I saw my ligaments. I saw purple. I saw pale blue. I saw gray. I saw things I didn't understand.
What is this?
You're like, I didn't take anatomy and physiology. I don't know what the fuck this is.
Yeah,
He said purple and blue, and I was good. I'm good.
Those are colors I don't
I
want
got
to
an
see.
image.
I don't know, boys. I think we may wrap on that. It's
man.
like, don't climb trees, and if you're going bald, you're going bald. Accept it and live.
Hashtag it's just hair.
It's,
Yep, it's just hair.
Don't worry, we got you.
it's just
and
hair,
hash-
man.
hashtag Alvin and Chipmunks.
And
Oh.
Maddie, yeah.
Yeah, can we
Call
cut that actually?
You heard who you
I'll
are.
take it. One last note on
That's the
Dave.
driving
Yeah.
force right there.
And Dave's empathy and how far he's come.
He's come a long
Dave,
way. We-
Shout
Dave
out to
was
Dave.
so upset when I cut my arm. I came home from the hospital, a few hours later. He had cut the tree branch down that I had fell off of.
I thought you were gonna
Yeah.
say he like
Damn.
held
He
you in his
didn't want
arms.
me to do it again.
That's
He
sweet.
cut the thing off.
That's sweet.
That,
Wow.
that
That
is
was
sweet.
sweet.
That's a listen,
That is.
Dave.
Shout out
to
Dave.
yeah,
I
that's
can't wait
it.
to see him
Dave
tomorrow.
Sirani.
And you will see him
Dave's a
tomorrow.
man.
I better see him tomorrow.
I thoroughly get excited when Dave comes. Whenever Dave walks in here, I'm like, Dave.
yeah.
Like I said, he's in every
I literally see Mike when I see Dave. I'm not gonna lie.
makes
You're not the
sense.
first
You guys-
or the
Like,
last
you are
person.
And
literally
that's a
the
good thing.
spitting image of your father.
Yeah.
It's we had Dave came in here to like hang up a fan and do some work in the gym last summer. We had a
Yeah,
couple
that
kids
was
in
with
here.
And they
And they literally drew to him like they drew to you.
yeah, they looked at him. They go, "Is that Mike's dad?" I'm like, "Yes." That is Mike.
No, it isn't. It isn't.
Go to
It isn't
Boston
Mike's
to get
dad.
that.
It just looks exactly like him.
Yep.
Walks exactly like him, but slightly difference in personality.
It's
a little
actually his brother. Just one
This whole time.
bit. Listen, now you're making Mike look old.
No, man. Listen, no, I
Dave
appreciate.
looks young. It's the opposite. Dave looks very
Very
young.
true.
56.
Very true.
56.
56 does not look it.
Yeah, if I can
56.
stay in that shape as I
Yeah.
trend, if I head towards there, I'll be a.
Mike,
I'll,
you have your own gym.
I'll be true.
No
True.
excuse.
No excuse.
You were my first trainer. You're a tank.
This is true, man. But
You are built to last.
we'll see.
American muscle.
10 years wasn't the cutoff. You just put that as the cutoff. You're still grinding.
Jeez,
Might be
nobody's
married,
safe
but
tonight,
don't
huh?
Chopper block. every day.
Look at Maddie, read the
man.
subtitle on his shirt.
Oh, what is that? Rebel performance? We got a rebel here.
Jeez, I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna sit on the couch. I'm gonna turn the lights off and put on
Burn
fucking
that shirt.
Burn that shirt. Put on Alvin and the Chipmunks.
Thank you. All right.
Watch Jason Lee.
Yep. For the love of God,
Call
people,
Maddie, just play the
please.
intro like
Yep.
speakerphone.
Give Jason Lee
You know
some
exactly
attention.
what I'm watching.
No, Maddie, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody tonight, and
Yeah, it was fun.
This
a lot
is
of fun
great.
tonight.
That was fun.
this is a blast, man. So thanks
I appreciate
everybody.
y'all.
No, thank all you guys for coming and your friendship and being here. So we'll pick up next time. Thanks everybody.
Thank you.
Peace.
Oh no, it's testicles.